Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you for joining me. Sadly, the Vols lost against the Georgia Bulldogs, but we will prevail. Kudos to those young men who gave it their all this evening, and kudos to Georgia putting on a good game. Now for my commentary this evening. This is a two-part live pertaining to Debbie Collier's son. He has spoken to Court TV. And the second part of this live is pertaining to Billie Joe Howe, the grandmother of a deceased child by the name of Quentin Simon. It has come to my understanding, information that perhaps Billie Joe is a confidential informant. That was told to me a little while ago. Is it true, Billie Joe, that you're an informant and that is the reason why you have not been arrested? They know you have some form of guilt. Chief Hatley, what the fuck is going on down there? Yeah, it's out. So now you got to explain why you haven't arrested the mother, the bio mother of the child, why this grandmother has not been arrested, because she was the custodian of the said two boy children, 3 and 20-month-old. The one is deceased, Quentin Simon. Somebody sent an email somewhere, tried to contact somebody to say, why haven't you been arrested, Billie Joe? Because obviously you've given out information to somebody that you're working for the police. You heard it here first on Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you for joining me. Let's get this party started. Thank you very much. Well, let's start with Court TV. Debbie Collier's son speaks to the network. Amen.
This is surveillance video of Debbie Collier inside a Family Dollar store in Clayton, Georgia. The 59-year-old mother of two buying a rain poncho, torch lighter, paper towels, a tarp, and a tote bag. The very same items that would be found near her naked and partially burned body 13 miles away in this wooded area on September 11th.
At this time, there is no evidence to suggest or support that this incident was related to a kidnapping or that this was a suicide.
Detectives still piecing together a timeline, but say about 20 minutes after Debbie is seen at this shopping center, her daughter, Amanda Bearden, received a Venmo payment of nearly $2,300 and a disturbing cryptic message that read, "They won't let me go. There is a key to the house underneath a flower pot." Later that day, Debbie's husband, Steve, reported her missing. Police would use satellite radio to find her unlocked rental car and a police dog to locate her body in the woods of Habersham County.
This black Pacifica van that had been reported missing out of Athens, Clark County, tied to Debbie Collier, a van that she had rented, according to her daughter. And I was very surprised to find it off a major highway, US 441, which is the main road connecting North Georgia and Western North Carolina. And the law enforcement officials and crime scene tape were right there in plain view of all the passersby. It's a heavily trafficked route.
According to the incident report, Debbie's daughter was alerted by police of the car's location and arrived at the scene in a hysterical state. After a canine was brought in, Debbie's body was located down an embankment, nude and partially burned. Police say her right hand grasping a small tree and remains of a fire nearby. Court TV visited her Athens, Georgia neighborhood. Friends and family are still too shaken to talk on camera, but told us Debbie and her husband, Steve, kept to themselves. Her son, Jeffrey Bearden, posted this message on Facebook about his mother. In part, it reads, "It is with the deepest sadness that I share my mother passed earlier this month. I will never be able to fully articulate the loss of my mother and what she meant to me. She was my longest source of love, support, and encouragement. My mother was very vibrant and a strong soul. Our grief is here and our pain is deep. I am asking that you please respect our privacy while we learn to cope and adjust with our loss. It is not appropriate to publish speculation about my family.
Well, we are.
I ask that all attention on this tragic story of my mother's death remain focused on aiding the police investigation."
He hasn't been my father.
Commercial. Sorry about that, you guys. Ooh, they got to get their money.
And still no answers tonight. Now, Jeffrey Bearden, Debbie's son, is speaking out. Now, he's going to join us in just a moment. We're hooking up with him. But I want to bring in from Los Angeles, California, retired FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon, who's back with us. Bobby, great to see you. Are you surprised that we're still here and there hasn't been an answer to all of this yet?
No, I'm not surprised, Vinny. You know, investigations, especially early on in cases like this, tend to move in a lot of different directions. You have to cover all the ground. You have to, run out every lead. You have to take every theory that you might have and look at it and turn it over and look at it from different angles and stuff. And so that's why sometimes there's a frustration on the part of the public when you hear what seems like contradictory messaging from law enforcement. And you know me, I'm always a advocate of not putting out a lot of stuff to the public because it can be confusing, particularly early on in an investigation. We're going in 10 different directions, and 9 of them are probably going to be not right. And so it's hard to kind of give in the early days of an investigation so much public information because some of it then you have to retract. Some of it you have to pull back, and you can't keep doing that or the public loses confidence in you.
So in this case, there's a couple of things that I think caught everyone's attention and are a bit peculiar because of the timing of it. The Venmo with the very cryptic message.
You're welcome.
Right? It seems if that message was sent to her daughter would be able to provide some information to law enforcement to put some context into that, because I still don't understand it. And then the other part, we've been watching this Family Dollar video. She's not really close to home there and trying to understand why she's there, an hour away when there are other dollar stores that are much closer.
In fact, I saw some reporting, it might have been from her son, that there was a dollar store much closer to her house in Athens that she used to frequent. And at the same time, she doesn't look under duress in that video. There's no one accompanying her. She doesn't look nervous. She doesn't try to talk to the cashier. So it's really that part of it is a mystery. As far as the message, what strikes me most is the use of the word they. So they, she's referring, I think, to whoever her murderers might be, but she's referring to it to her daughter as if her daughter knows who they are. So you don't send a text to somebody, without any kind of points of reference.
Going to interject while they talk. It's an 18-minute video. I don't know if I agree with that. We don't know that the daughter knew who she was speaking of because we don't know anything. You've changed the narrative, remember? And frankly, if it wasn't for the Venmo being released by the police, I don't even think many of us would have had anything to say about the daughter. Now, that's not to say that some of these internet sleuths wouldn't have been digging in the past of each person looking for criminal records. It would eventually came out about her past with the boyfriend, but we would have never known about the Venmo, the amount of the Venmo, the text about the flower pot and the key. We wouldn't have known any of that. And they, who are they? Who was Debbie Collier speaking of? They. Did they even exist? Because we do not know if this woman was ill, mentally ill, disturbed, schizophrenic, and sorry, son, but we're going to speculate because we're human beings. If you have anyone to be angry with, it should be the police, because indeed they put this information out that she was a target. It was a homicide, and they released information about the Venmo amount and the text and who it was to. So if you want to be angry, you should be angry with the police. Rightfully so. And you also bring us commentary that they release information to the reporters before you all. And no, that is not right. So I'd like to know, which information are you speaking of? The Venmo account, the text, it being a homicide. Did they not tell you these things before it was released to reporters? And it is said in this commentary, reporters told the Sun, hey, we heard it from police first. What is the truth? Thank you for joining
me. So any context. So when she says they, it seems to me like she's assuming the daughter knows who she's talking about.
Absolutely. All right, Bobby, stand by, because joining us now by phone, special guest in Baltimore, Maryland, Debbie's son, Jeffrey Bearden, is with us. And Jeffrey, thank you so much for joining us tonight. First of all, I'd like to express the deepest condolences from all of us here at Court TV. How are you and your family holding up?
Yes, Mr. Politan, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so my family, I'm not going to lie, we're not doing great by any means. I think the last 2 months of our lives have been very surreal. You know, we've been put in different circumstances, situations that we could have never imagined. We've been followed, we've been photographed, we've been drugged through the ringer online, critiqued for every action or inaction or anything in our history, speaking out or not speaking out. And, you know, I'm here today because, you know, I want people to know that I feel like my family is being stripped of some part of a chance to like grieve collectively. And I think my family is really just here wanting to, you know, try to get answers for my mom and seek some kind of justice and, you know, try to keep the focus on her investigation, especially given everything that's just been going on recently.
Absolutely. You know, I've watched that video from the Family Dollar store. And, you know, I'm down here in Georgia also, and it's a Saturday. She's dressed in all red. Do you know where she was going that day? And is she a Georgia Bulldog fan? Was she going to watch the game or something? Do we have any idea?
Yeah, so my mom is definitely a Georgia Bulldog fan. Go Dogs. My mom was an even bigger Alabama fan, to be honest with you. I think that day is something that even I'm left with a lot of questions, something I wish I could tell you more about. You know, I mean, I can tell you that my mom was someone who historically took her Saturdays to, you know, work half days at her job, run errands for the week, like grocery shopping, you know, just things in town, or she would be resting and relaxing at home from a long work week, where she would like to, you know, invite people over, you know, watch TV, watch a movie, have a meal, you know, be with her husband, be with her friends and her children. So it's something that's still kind of haunting my family to this day.
Yeah, because, you know, you talk about where the store is. It's not really close to where she was living at that time. How about your relationship with investigators? And I speak to so many families, and sometimes that relationship is fantastic. Sometimes it's not great. And sometimes it's just very guarded because investigators are doing their work and they have a difficult time releasing information to even family members. So how would you describe the relationship that you've had with investigators so far?
I guess I would have to characterize it as fine. You know, so far for me, I've only really been in communication with one investigator consistently throughout the entire time, and that was usually because that was something that I prompted. And then, you know, I recently had an exchange with the sheriff. I had a phone call with him, just trying to express some concerns. The phone call, unfortunately, was unpleasant and a bit unprofessional. And I'm still honestly at this point waiting for a response from a formal complaint that I filed after that conversation last week.
And what was the nature of the complaint? What?
So part of my complaint was during the phone call that I had with the sheriff, Mr. Joey Terrell, I was expressing some concerns for the way in which communication has occurred during the investigation, which, you know, I want people to know I'm trying to be very realistic here, and I understand that, you know, you're not always going to be privy to everything, but I was trying to express some of the concerns about the way in which information was being released, some leaks of information that was being given out to the public before the family, you know, based on some reporting and some reporters that I've talked to who said that they got it from law enforcement. And I also wanted to address, like what steps have been taken by his office, and then if any, and then what steps could be taken. And then I followed it up and just let them know that I did not feel like he was able to empathize with the situation or offer any kind of action. He just denied. And I was hoping for some kind of resolution on that.
I gotcha. I understand your frustration with that. I mean, you know, I'm in the, I'm on the journalism side of this, the reporting side of it. And sometimes I always presume that the family knows more. And to hear that is kind of disheartening. Do you know anything? And this is the other part. The first time I heard about what happened to your mom, this cryptic message and the Venmo transfer that day. Do you have any better understanding of the context of all of that?
No, sir. I wish I could give you, kind of like you were saying before, it's been a learning process for us. Like that's something that even after 2 months, like I'm still sitting here questioning, and I think like I want to know why such a large amount. I want to know who they are still. That she was, she referred to someone as who, or they, excuse me, and who they are. And it's just, it's hard to, still be at this point and still be asking for help and trying to get that kind of basic information that I thought.
Let me interject here. Just a few more minutes left in this commentary. He's curious to who they are. So guess what? We are curious as well, sir. And what I find interesting is, why didn't you say in this commentary, I asked my sister about the Venmo account. I asked her about where the money is, because so far no one has relayed to the public where the money went. And I do believe I brought a source to that commentary that they don't know, police, as of yet, last time I did an upload on this story, to where the money is, which we already know that money can be traced. Come on now, guys. So, sir, did you ask your sister about the Venmo account? Did you ask your sister how she felt about the message and the money? Did you ask her also what did she do with the money? Oh, wait. This is a weird story. Lord have mercy. Very weird. He wants help from the police, mad at the police for being rude, arrogant, but yet you're the same one that said you wanted privacy. You didn't want them asking you all questions, if I am relaying this correctly. So what do you want from them, sir? I'm confused. You want them in or you want them out? Because I'm confused. So you have to be very careful of people who get angry that people are talking about the story. I understand you don't want speculation, gossip. We're human beings. As Vinny says, I'm a journalist. I assume you knew things, you and your family, before we got the information. Of course. So next we'll hear that he's suing them. He, the stepdaddy, sister. Oh, my Lord. The police should have never spoken about the Venmo account and the message. Should have never said that it was a targeted homicide. If you did not know for sure that the woman was murdered, you should have never released that information to the public, because that is what got all of us gossiping and assuming and speculating about the Venmo. Yes, it made the daughter look suspicious. Why would it not? The woman's out in the middle of nowhere, in a forest, naked, hat partially burned, items burned that she bought from the store. It is bizarre. Daughter just came into town. Of course, that's suspicious. Daughter has a track record with narcotics and theft and this and that. People are going to talk. And even if the Venmo account had never been mentioned, the text never mentioned, somebody was going to dig into her past, the mama's past, the father's past, the brother's past, because this is what people on the internet do. They are nosy. I frankly don't do all that digging because I don't have that kind of time. I don't want to. I don't want to, because as you see, all that digging, look where it got us, back to square one. Now the narrative has changed. she possibly killed herself or it was an accident. Just saying.
At this point, you know, there would be something a little bit more that could be shared.
Absolutely. I just want to bring Bobby Chacon back into the conversation, Jeffrey. Bobby's a former FBI special agent, has dealt with so many cases and investigation. And Bobby, if you could just, I guess, explain to the folks at home, Jeffrey, put some context on helping a family through this level of frustration now, and a little bit of mistrust that there was potentially some leaks from law enforcement and reporters like me getting information. Now, I didn't get it, but someone else, like a reporter, getting information before a family would get it, and how to better navigate that relationship.
Sure. First, Vinny, I want to tell Jeffrey that, you know, I add on to your condolences. This is a tragedy that no family should face. And I've read some of Jeffrey's things about his mother, that she sounds much like my mom, looking forward to the holidays, spending them with her family was the main thing in her life. And she sounds like this wonderful person. And, you know, a mother's love is something that should never be taken away. And so I want to add my sincere condolences to you and your family. I can tell you that in situations like this, there is an insatiable appetite on the behalf of the public, of podcasters, of TV shows for information, and that sometimes leads to a lot of pressure. Where if a small town sheriff's office is not used to that kind of pressure, then you know they can crack and they can make some mistakes in handling things like that. There is no excuse, never an excuse for leaks. And I see it like you did. I see it all the time where, you know, police sources or, you know, a reporter will say my source is inside the police department. That should never happen. And, you know, we dealt with leaks myself in the FBI, but we were used to that kind of pressure. But there's never an excuse for a leak. And Vinny's heard me say 1,000 times, the only time information should be made public is when it benefits the investigation. Because the investigators, if they do their job and they focus on just finding out who did this, then your family will get the justice that they deserve. And sometimes there's a lot of noise in cases like this, and they really have to kind of put on blinders and put on their earmuffs and just focus on following the investigative trail. Now, sometimes that means that there's certain information that the family doesn't receive, or they receive it in the wrong order, where somebody else might receive it first. And those are mistakes that come about because they're just not interested. They're not used to this kind of pressure.
Yeah. All right. Bobby's going to stay with us. Jeffrey Bearden's going to stay with us. We're going to take a short break. We'll have much more on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
All right. Brief break. Woo. I have no knowledge of anybody blocking anybody on a cell phone. I don't know who you're speaking of, Bobby. Have no idea who you're talking about, dear. But if it has no relation to what we're talking about, then it has no relevance here on Everyday Shenanigans. I'm just saying.
Welcome back. Debbie Collier's mysterious death still has not been solved. Her son, Jeffrey Bearden, is joining us tonight by phone. Bobby Chacon, FBI special agent, also with us. Jeffrey, what do you think happened? Do you have any thoughts about or theories about what happened here?
I think I'm still left feeling like this is a homicide, based on, the discussions that I've had with law enforcement. But then again, with how long everything has gone on, some of the decisions that have been made, and then some of the recent, engagements and lack of communication, it's hard to know even what is happening or what could have happened at this point. I don't, again, want to be a hypocrite and say that my family and I are not prepared for anything at this point, just given how life has gone over the last 2 months for us. But, I still, the what I know and what I know of my mother, it still just doesn't make sense for her to be out there. And so, you know, I think as like someone as a concerned son, I'm still scared that she met, you know, she entered into something that she didn't know she was entering into, and something bad happened. But
Well, what happened?
information
Sorry about that. They broke up.
in pieces.
Well, Jeffrey, we appreciate your time tonight. Our thoughts are with you and your family, and we are hoping so much that you get the answers that you want. And if it turns out to be homicide, the justice that your family deserves. So thank you so much, Jeffrey. I appreciate it. We all
Lord.
appreciate it.
All right, everybody. You entitled to your opinion pertaining to this information. Oh, Lord. Where do I begin? First of all, let's start with the beginning of the story. Why did Debbie Collier go up to this location? There were many stores near her. I believe they counted 8 from her house in Athens to this said location where this dollar store is. So we can't speak to the dead because she's not here. So why was Debbie Collier in this area? She bought items that were later at the scene of the crime. Nude, stomach burned, items burned partially. We also got new information of a gas can, remnants under the car. Car burned, but looking at the video again today, I didn't see anything that looked like a burned car anywhere while it was being put on the tow truck. Now, was it burned underneath? I don't know. Burned inside? I don't know. But this is what's been mentioned via source, news source. You also hear in this source that the door was unlocked. We also found out that the lady had her purse with her, phone was with her, phone was turned off. So who did all of this? Gas can remnants underneath the van. Very strange. How do you get remnants under a car? I can see throwing it up under there, she or somebody else, but remnants mean it has to have been burned somewhere else, cut up, broke up, and somebody threw pieces under there. Why would they do that? See, nothing about this case makes any sense. Naturally, the son is upset, and I'm going to try to be a little nice to him in this commentary because I'm not in his shoes. That isn't my mother that people are gossiping about and speculating. But what he has to understand is that once the information has been released to the public via the police, people are going to wonder what happened. So I get it. You're upset that they released information to the media before you all. So what is that information exactly? Is it the manner of death? We didn't get that yet. What? The fact that she was burned? I'm trying to understand. The Venmo, the text. So what is it that you're angry that they released? What is that information? We also learned later she ate at a Chick-fil-A before going to the dollar store, if I'm not mistaken. So what happened? The police now has changed the narrative that she did not die by homicide, but by accident or suicide. And also, she may have been using drugs. That was also mentioned. Naturally, that would not make a child or children happy, a spouse happy to hear that. Because the first thing they're going to say is, well, I didn't know my mom was using drugs. Where'd you get that from? Well, naturally, they would have had to find something in her persons, on her persons, in her purse, in her car, in her pocket, or hair follicles. So for those who did not know, that your hair can be tested to show if you have used narcotics such as cocaine. So maybe that was found in the autopsy and that's been leaked out. I don't know. I don't really know anything about this story. Because really we don't know who Debbie Collier is. And when you have people who refuse to talk, you also hear them saying neighbors and relatives are afraid to speak on camera. That's a bad sign. Because if you don't have anything negative to say, then why would you be afraid to speak? Ting. I tell you, always listen to the information that's been given to you. See, a lot of times you don't have to speculate. When it don't sound right, it's because it ain't right. Now you have new information. Nobody wants to talk out of fear. So you mean to tell me all these separate entities are afraid to speak to the news in an age where all people do is quack, quack, quack? Come on now. Now that's just a bit strange. It's because maybe they know more about this couple than we have learned, because we actually have learned nothing about them as a couple, just that they stay to themselves. But yet the son says his mother was vibrant. So now let's think about that for a second. Two people married, sleeping in separate bedrooms, stay to themselves, but yet the son says my mother was vibrant. What are we saying here? Mommy was vibrant, but caught up in a situation where the husband is a recluse, don't really want to mingle. She goes along with the flow, but she's really that outgoing person that wants to break free. I'm just saying. This is all speculation. No evidence has been linked to any of the children or the husband. That has been also brought to you by a source, which is law enforcement. No evidence linking the family. So now you're back to square one with a new narrative. Accident or suicide, drug related, drug use by the victim. And as I said, when you start changing the narrative, one would have to use deduction. Out in the middle of nowhere, cryptic message with a Venmo account, money sent to the daughter, message about a key under a flower pot. Nobody knows what the damn money went to. Nobody wants to talk to the news. Son's upset that people are talking. Information leaked from the police. Oh, God, I'm running out of breath. Police says, oh, we're short-staffed, which makes no sense. What does that have to do with you leaking information out? No arrest, narrative change. Husband was at work. Was somebody in her car already when she got to the dollar store? Did somebody jump in the car, hold her at gunpoint? But got to change that up now because you said, oops, it's accident suicide. Was she using narcotics and went up there in the middle of somewhere, nowhere to fake an abduction assault and burned herself accidentally, either on purpose or getting high? Stay woke. Because I want to know why nobody wants to talk out of fear. Fearing what? She's dead. Now, unless she was in the mafia, wife of a mafia figure, wife of a kingpin, wife of a dope dealer. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Then what are you fearing? You'd only fear if you're getting ready to tell us something negative about Debbie Collier and her husband and that family. Ting. That's the only time you have fear. Because we only know what you're going to tell us, no more than what you tell us. We don't know her. She doesn't have a criminal background. None of her friends have spoken. So what is it that you're fearing? See, you always have to use deduction. So now you're still putting out another narrative that something's going on with these people because nobody wants to speak. And the son's upset with the sheriff because they're having some nasty exchange of conversation. And Leslie, he's laughed at him. So, Sheriff, what the fuck's going on with you? And I like the fact that you were reading from the computer information about the victim. Damn, you don't know how to talk to the camera and say, hey, found the victim at this place, blah, blah, blah. Jesus Christ, it's not even that much information. What do you got to read from a teleprompter for? Yeah, I'm being cynical now. And then you change the narrative. Do you even know what you're doing down there? Hell, maybe you all are in conjunction with Chatham County. There's some funky stuff going on in Georgia. I think you all are just running by the good old boy system. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have professionals that can work homicide cases because this is looking bad from one county to the other in the state of Georgia. And when you have to have other agencies come in, such as state police, the federal bureau or the state bureau, that ain't good. But we get it. Small places, fewer people. But you got to have somebody working for you that's seasoned. You got to have, at least 2 detectives that have worked homicide in major jurisdictions because you're going to be stumped every time somebody pops up dead. You got to go call, Georgia Bureau of Investigations. What happened to Debbie Collier? Why the hell was she way up out of the middle of nowhere? What was she doing in that forest? How did she get naked? She died holding on to a tree branch. What happened to her? Is it a matter that she wasn't stable mentally? Hearing voices, schizophrenic. Also maybe a drug user. Went out there to get high. The voices told her to go out there. She went out there to do something. Stage a fake kidnapping, assault, but things went wrong out there. Or as somebody in the chat said the other day, maybe she met foul play out there. Somebody else was out there. Another man, woman, group of people. They decided to play some funny games with the victim. What will we learn from the autopsy? No gunshot wound, no strangulation, no suffocation, no battery, no sexual assault, or one or two or three or four of those that I just named. Thank you all for joining me. What happened to Debbie Collier? Will we ever find out the truth to what happened to this lady? Was she leading a double life? Who did she go to meet up there? Or did she just drive up there by herself? He said she basically did errands, relaxed, watched a little TV, spent time with the family, husband. But on this fateful weekend, Debbie was allegedly alone. No mention of anybody meeting her in her car. Does she know anybody up there in that general area? Did she meet somebody up there? And I want to know why you all ain't talking. Hell yeah, we gonna judge you. It's what we do. We're humans. We're not robots. Is it right? Of course it's not right. But you're judged every day. You're judged by the way you look, how tall you are. You're too skinny, too fat, hair too long, too short, no hair. Your appearance. Why you got them shoes on with that skirt? It's what we do. We're human. It's what we do. Well, Watcher, you can't say that because people go lots of places by themselves. People hike in the mountains all the time, Appalachia. People go to foreign countries to climb peaks. So people do what they want to do. That's the gist of being a grown-up. You're entitled to go where you want to go. Welcome, crime. Absolutely. Thank you. Welcome to Everyday Shenanigans. You can't tell people where to go. Kind of like when you're riding around at night. Maybe you're upset. You want to think. You're driving around. Now you put over by the police and he's asking you, what are you doing out here? No, what are you doing out here? I'm an adult. I go where I want to go. If I want to go sit at the river, I can. If I want to cry at the lake, I can. If I want to throw pebbles in the lake at 2 a.m., I can. I'm grown. But it's only a suspicion when the police is involved. Have y'all noticed that? What are you doing here? You're in the middle of the woods by yourself. Oh, you're at the lake, you're at the river by yourself. You're at the pond, you're at the quarry by yourself. People go to these places by themselves all the time. It's not advised to go alone, whether you're a man or a woman or a child, naturally, because you don't know what's lurking in the dark. But people do it all the time. People run at night when they know they shouldn't, walk on trails at night, know they shouldn't, but they do it anyway. Maybe she wanted to take a day drive. Maybe her mind got to twitching. I don't know. Because you have to admit, this is a very odd and peculiar story about a woman in the middle of nowhere shopping miles away. No evidence that she met anybody for lunch, dinner, dropped off a package, dropped off something, picked up something, shopping, bought a dress from a Kohl's or JCPenney, nothing. And the reason why I know a person didn't carjack her or jump in the car at any point is because they would have had to be able to get out of there. And she's off the beaten path, which is a highway. You would have to have a way out of there. And nobody's going to play funny games with you, jump in your car, and then walk down the highway. Hey, balance. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nobody's going to do that. If I jumped in your car, hold you at gunpoint, rob you, make you drive to the forest, Hey, I got to be able to get out of there. I've got to be able to get out of the force. I'm not getting ready to walk on a highway. Because let's say passerby stops the car. Hey, where are you going? And you say, oh, I'm going up such. Get in the car. What are you doing out here? Where are you coming from? Now you've been seen. So what are you going to do now? Kill this person whose car you in? Possibly. You want to get down, have another murder on your hands. But now you got to wipe the car down. Cameras are everywhere. You ditched the car. Now you got to wipe down all your fingerprints in this new car. See where I'm going with this? When you had a whole other car to take, which would have been her van. I hate to say this because it is the most macabre of thinking besides just her being murdered by a stranger or somebody that knows her. Could it be that Debbie Collier was not mentally well and she went out there to put on a hoax that she was assaulted? Maybe she's lonely, needed attention, she's mad at the world, or she's just ill and things went awry in that forest with the pilot lighter, tarp. She caught herself on fire. Maybe she had a stroke, aneurysm. I don't know. But there's something bizarre about this story. It will be baffling if we find out that Debbie Collier did this to herself and accidentally died. That will be disturbing because that will take us to the Sherry Papini case out in California, where she orchestrated her own disappearance and blamed it on 2 Hispanic women, I believe. And that was disrespectful because now you could have started a race riot out there. We know that they have a lot of foreigners that live in California. A lot of Asian people, Hispanic. It's disrespectful. But this is what people do when they're sick and they want attention. And one guy who was messing around with Papini said that. She always wanted attention. Loneliness. Loneliness can make you do some crazy things. I think most of us know that. All of us have been lonely at one point or another. We sought out the attention of people we had no business tangling up with, doing stupid stuff, ignorant stuff. And the first thing you thought when you came back down to earth, what the hell was I thinking? Why did I do that? Why was I talking to that person? Why am I dealing with that person? Why am I sleeping with this person? Why am I dealing with this person? Why am I acting like a damn fool? We don't know Debbie Collier. That's the gist of this story. We don't know her. Woo! Prayers for answers. Because although the son doesn't like us talking about his mother and his family, it is what it is. It's true crime. And most national syndicates have picked up the story and they ask the questions. They may not be derogatory in their commentary and opinionated as the queen, but I don't work for CNN, Court TV, the local news, so I can say what the hell I want to say. I'm my own boss. With a little help from YouTube, of course. Thank you for joining me. I want to make sure I touched on everything pertaining to that Debbie Collier. I don't want to leave anything out before I get to the next subject. Did they get it wrong? Could it be that it was a murder and her killers are walking free? Some of you are insinuating that possibly the stepdaughter and the daughter and the stepdaddy was canoodling. Could it be the son? He's away out of town that we know of. Where was the daughter and the boyfriend? I have yet to hear an alibi pertaining to them. So that's still in the back of my mind. Where are their alibis? Whew, Jesus. Or did she just go hook up with somebody and they got to arguing or something? Something jumped out. They wanted to go in the woods, do a little hanky-panky. They didn't have their own place. You know, you never know. She could have been on the internet, met somebody. She said, come on, let's go take a drive. She went to where they were, and he said, hey, pull over here. I know a little place where we can go sit and talk. And if she was getting high, that'd be the perfect place to go get your geek on. It's off the beaten path, especially if she met somebody that's up there and they knew that area. And he said, hey, pull over here. And they pulled over, but maybe things went bad. You know, people do argue over drugs. For those who have never gotten high, somebody's going to get mad over the last smoke on that pipe. Hey, you taking too long. Give it to me. It's my turn. And it's not to be disrespectful to Ms. Collier. I'm speaking hypothetically. Lord have mercy. I don't know. Yes, exploded. Could have been. When I get another update, I'll be back. But I think the son should have said more about the Venmo text in his commentary to Vinny. And he should have said, I asked my sister, but maybe he didn't want to get into all that because he knew that probably would open up Pandora's box. But if I was Vinny, because there's a few times Vinny has not asked those important questions. Hey, what about that Venmo account? Hey, what about that text? Did you ask your sister what she thinks it means? Did you ask her where's the money? Did they find the money, police? And frankly, Vinny, you should have asked him, what do you think happened to your mother? Bingo card. You didn't ask. And that was the perfect opportunity. Since he's wrangling with the sheriff, they've changed the narrative. That was the perfect time to ask, hey, what do you think happened to your mother? Who was your mother going to see up there? Do you know why your mother was up there? The son just leaves it open with, I have so many questions myself. That was the opportunity, Vinny, for you to dive in and say, hey, what about this, this, and this? You know, not to be nasty or rude, but people want to know. We're curious. Because now we're still left dumbfounded. And we want to know really what the son is thinking. Since he's raising hell right now, tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what's going on with your mother. Tell us the relationship you have with your mother. Tell us the relationship you have with your stepfather. Tell us the relationship you have with your sister, her boyfriend. Why did they leave your apartment from Maryland? Bingo card. All this talking around in circles. Tell us the 411 about you and that family. Because maybe then we'll realize there's more to the story than a homicide, an accident, a suicide, Venmo account. There's something going on with these people. And when you have people that don't want to talk and they say they fear speaking, that means they are afraid to hurt somebody's feelings. And that would lead you to believe there's some hanky-panky going on. Because if you don't have anything but positive things to say, then you don't have to worry about offending anyone. So I think the friends and family know more about Debbie Collier, her relationship with her husband, how she was living down there in Georgia, and any other entities involved with her. And they don't want to say anything because they don't want to get no shit started. And I get that. Because when you live around people, after you open your mouth, you can't take it back. And you've got to live around those people. We don't. All right. Hot topic number 2. I will drop the link for this topic because I know y'all want to talk about this more than Debbie Collier. Billie Joe. Woo, Billie Joe, Billie Joe. They got to quit talking to the queen. Billie Joe, somebody believes that you done told them that you are a confidential informant. Now, what is the queen? Woo, I got to catch my breath. I believe I need to start running. I gets out of breath up here. Billie Joe, did you tell somebody you a confidential informant? Is that the reason why your ass is free and not arrested alongside your daughter? Oh, wait. I bet you want to talk to the queen bad. I bet you didn't tell Cher that. Hey, Cher, did you know about that? Because I said I was going to quit talking about you anyway because you're irrelevant. I bet you she didn't tell you that. Woo, you heard it here first on Everyday Shenanigans. Shut your mouth. Lord have mercy. I know y'all sitting there in the chat like, Lord, what this woman then found out about this girl. Oh, Lord, as old black folks would say, there's a leak in this old building. I believe we about to have church up in here. It's time for church, everybody. It's time for church. Well, he may have said it in his live. That's okay. No big deal. I can tell you one thing. He ain't talking to who I'm talking to. I put money on that. I put money on that. So it's no big deal. I'm not worried about what anybody else is talking about. I don't watch his channel, so trust me, I didn't get it from him. Believe that. Billie Joe, what is going on down there? Are you working for Chatham County Police Department or any other law enforcement agency? Have you gotten yourself into trouble? And that was the even exchange for you to go undercover and bust anybody using and or selling, trafficking narcotics in the state of Georgia in the general demographic. I'm just curious. And I also believe the FBI is tired of working this case. And I bet you didn't hear that on Dolly. They've given information. They've been used by Chief Hadley, Chatham County Police Department. And I do believe that the FBI, they are tired. GBI, they are tired. Because at this point, I do believe these people feel that they have been used by Chief Hadley and the police department. Because you have not accepted the information that these people have brought forward in this investigation. So basically, you've used them. What are you all talking about down there? The point is, something's off in this investigation. And there is a reason why, Chief Hadley, you refuse to arrest these people. I do not know if you are on an ego trip. I don't know what's going on with you. But I'm going to play a little audio before you all decide to hit the link, since you all are down there chatting with yourselves.
Bluetooth connected.
I'll just continue to do me up here. Let me let you all know, I'm not in competition with any YouTubers. So don't put their name in my chat. I'm my own entity. We're going to go back a day or so when a fifth protester got arrested pertaining to this Quentin Simon mess.
Outside Quentin Simon's home.
And the Chatham County Police Chief says that these hecklers outside of Quentin's home have turned the case into, quoting him now, a money-making circus. Our Andy Cole joins us live now from outside the police headquarters. And Andy, you even talked to one of the hecklers tonight and asked him about the chief's comments.
Yeah, good evening, Greg. It's been more than a month since Quentin disappeared. Since the story has gained national attention, but it's also brought in hecklers who police say make it impossible for the neighbors to live in peace. Tonight, a fifth protester arrested, all while the prime suspect remains free.
Put holding our people hostage while you let baby murderers run your street.
A heckler is in jail after a clash at the home where Quentin Simon was last seen. Jimmy Williams was charged with simple battery and disorderly conduct. His arrest marks the fifth heckler jailed over the last month. Chatham County Police say since October 12th, they've responded to the neighborhood 50 times. In a statement, Chatham County's police chief says, quote, many of the people claiming to want justice for Quentin have turned his tragic and heartbreaking case into a money-making circus. And they have made it impossible for the people who live in the area to enjoy the peace and tranquility of their homes. This is unacceptable and has to stop.
This is what I do all over the country.
Bullhorn Betty has been outside Quentin's home for weeks. She runs a YouTube channel and live streams her interactions daily. She calls Chief Jeff Hadley's statement lies.
When I see the Billie Joe and Leilani, I ask them questions. Where's the baby? What did you do with the baby? Things like that. in a professional capacity. Now, is it loud? Yes, because I'm across the street and they're at their gate. But I have not caused this. No other YouTubers have caused this. This is their community doing this, not us.
Chief Hadley said that over the next few days, police will unveil new measures to minimize the disruption to the surrounding neighbors. Bullhorn Betty, however, tells me she isn't going anywhere.
I absolutely plan to come back to that house tomorrow because I will not be intimidated by some police chief.
What's going to stop you from coming back to that house?
There's nothing that's he can arrest me every single day that I'm out there. This is not about me. This is about Quentin.
Yes, it is about you, Bullhorn.
Eddie, some
Stop the
fiery words
nonsense.
from both sides tonight. So what are the plans from the police to keep the noise down in that neighborhood?
Yeah, Greg, we reached out to police late tonight to learn more about those measures, but they declined to say what those were. Chief Hadley did mention in his statement that right here at police headquarters is a much safer place to protest than the streets of Buckhalter Road. Greg?
Eddie Cole reporting live outside of the Chatham County Police Headquarters. Thank you.
All right, everybody, that's news a little bit late to some, early for some, late for others. It's all the same. Just recapping everything that's happened. As most of you know, the YouTuber that goes by the name of Dolly Vision was arrested, but then they said he was let go. So whoever came up with the little money in the chat to bond him out, you didn't even have to send the money in, see? You didn't even have to. He didn't even have a bond from what the street is saying. I don't know. I wasn't there. And boy, are they talking about him now. Sure is a lot of sexual assault conversation going on pertaining to YouTubers and people allegedly trying to help children and find missing people. I'm just saying. How about that? Bullhorn, you know that you like attention. Come on now. You did it down in Florida with the Petito laundry case, and it is about you. Because if you really cared about Quentin Simon, you would have never been over there at 535 Buckhalter in the first place. You would have been at the municipal building, police department, because that is the appropriate place to air your grievances. I mean, Chief Hadley is the person investigating the case. Well, he bonded out. As I said, I really don't care. I don't care. Because the story's about Quentin, not YouTubers. As I was saying, the story is about you all because you all are self-serving. Oh, Lordy. You can see when people are bored, they come in the chat. Ask Angela, does she give a damn? She does not. As I was rudely interrupted, a Bullhorn, you're just like everybody else, you're self-serving. You don't care about children. You never have. Because if you cared about the child, you would have been at the police station. Because that's the person who's making the decisions about this case is Chief Hadley, not even the FBI. Okay? If you all are going to be bickering in the chat, you know you can get removed out of here now. Because I don't play that. I believe in free speech, but I don't want my chat disrupted. Because it throws people off. And that means I'm wasting my time up here bringing the information. Because then they're not listening to me. They're listening to you all. You all are self-serving. The case is not even relevant. Because everybody's gotten lost in the shuffle of the he said and the she said and arrest and who bonded, didn't bond. See, that's the whole point of what I'm saying. I don't care. I don't care about those people. I care about the people who are in the landfill searching for a child and that they're getting restless and hopeless in trying to find the child. And that's something you all aren't considering. The mounds of dirt, debris, trash, tons, literally tons. And somebody's raking through that stuff. And those people are getting frustrated from the source I got tonight. And as I said, I know this source ain't talking to none of y'all. Because they don't have no reason to talk to you. Those people are frustrated. And they feel used, I'm assuming. Because they feel like you're going to call us in here, come from all around the United States to help you. And then you just use this for the tools we have and the resources because we're the FBI. But then when we're trying to give you information to tell you this girl is guilty, we know she's guilty, we've got proof she's guilty, you still want to let her walk around. And all that shit that went on over there on Buckhalter, Chief, you allowed all that. You allowed all that. You allowed those people to be down there fussing and cussing and live streaming for views and likes and clicks and donations. And I don't tell a person, hey, you do what you want to do. You want to give your money to a clown to go buy a recliner and shit a Lexus? Hey, that's your business. But don't come crying later when you feel you've been duped and hoodwinked and bamboozled. Then you want to start going to people's chats talking bad about them because you all got a bad habit of doing that. Once you open your eyes, then you say, oh, I can't believe they did that. They took my money. Oh, they're so nasty. Oh, I can't believe they've been arrested. Or, oh my God, they're accused of SA. Oh, this. Well, I mean, hey, you was following them. You liked it. So don't cry about it later. Because that gets real old. That crying game. Stop putting your faith in people. Just listen to the information and go from there. All that trying to put somebody up on a pedestal, who's better than this, who knows more than this YouTuber, man, don't nobody care about that but somebody crazy. In the end, it ain't getting that baby out of the landfill. All the gossip, all the made up stories, you people that went from a bathtub to a pond. You've gone from a bathtub, kidnapping, all because you're listening to Billy Joe. Somebody asks you, where'd you hear that from? Well, I don't remember. Well, they said who were they? Well, Billy Joe said the same person that had custody of the children. You're going to repeat something that comes from a person that had custody of the children, but wasn't around to keep the children. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let's play one more commentary, then we can get just bona fide ignorant. WJCL is the source. There's now a sign sitting in front of Billy Joe Howe's home. It says 7 o'clock p.m. to 7 a.m. by the order of Chatham County Police Department. Chatham County Ordinance 11-103, loitering punishable by law. So, Betty, you can carry your ass back over there since you want to go to jail, and you must have a whole lot of money to keep bonding out every time you go over there. See, that's something a fool would say. I'm going to keep going over there. I'm going to keep going over there. Okay, your ass on over there. Hell, you must like jail. So that lets me know, hell, you must like girls. Because I ain't never seen a grown woman say she want to go to jail. I want to keep getting arrested. No, you want to keep getting attention so people can feel sorry for you. That way they can fill your Cash App card. But you keep fucking around with them hillbillies down there, you ain't gonna have no Cash App card because them motherfuckers gonna steal your card. You better wake the hell up. And as one of my commenters said that found me, you sure ain't lying about how we get down here in the holler. I'm a hillbilly and I know how we rock. Of course they do. And I know you really on thin ice in them parts. Since y'all love talking about bath water and swimming pools and ponds and lakes, you keep on fucking around out there, you gonna be in sinking sand. You getting a big head, little girl. As black folks would say, you're smelling your own funk. You're a random ass woman, just like the rest of those people on that street. They're all random. YouTubers are not. And YouTube ain't gave nobody no press pass to go nowhere, to sit up and hoop and holler. Because in the end, you have not done anything to find Quentin Simon. Checkmate. Let's see what these folks are talking about.
Tonight, peace. It's something that hasn't been seen for some time now on Buckhalter Road, where little Quentin Simon was last seen. Police are cracking down on hecklers who have berated Quentin's family and neighbors for weeks. Our Andy Cole reports on the new measures Chatham County Police have.
Do you hear that? It's something that's been hard to come by over the last few weeks. It's peace, thanks to this sign, or really what the sign means. Since Quentin Simon went missing from his Savannah home on October 5th, hecklers have dominated Buckhalter Road. They've screamed words we can't say on TV, got into disputes with themselves, and some have streamed the entire thing on YouTube. We told you Thursday that a fifth heckler, YouTuber Jimmy Williams, who goes by Dolly, was arrested for simple battery and disorderly conduct. That's not to mention, officers were dispatched to Quentin's home 50 times since October 5th. It seems that Chatham County's police chief has had enough. Chief Jeff Hadley said in a statement Thursday that the hecklers were turning the case into a, quote, money-making circus and promised measures to limit the disruption they caused. Chief Hadley delivered. On Friday, police began enforcing 2 county ordinances. CCPD is now requiring a permit to protest on Buckhalter Road, signed by the county manager. Protest, according to police, means anything that could impede vehicular traffic. Police are also now enforcing a loitering ordinance from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. 3 new signs now greet drivers. One is strategically placed in front of Quentin's home. For now, the measures seem to be working, but only time will tell. In Chatham County, I'm Andy Cole, WJCL 22 News.
All right, that's the latest. YouTuber arrested, bonded out, not bonded out, whichsoever. I don't really care. That means nothing to me. I'm just bringing you the information pertaining to the case, because in the end, it has nothing to do with Quentin Simon. See, that's what some of you don't seem to understand. All this stupid stuff about these people on the ground, hecklers, whatever word you want to use, has nothing to do with the baby. The baby don't know them. The baby's dead. Billie Joe don't know them. But she's decided to come to YouTube to get herself wrapped up in this nonsense with these certain YouTuber or more. That's her choice. But that lets me know that her mind isn't focused on preservation and finding out the truth about the child. But I have a feeling that she already knows what happens. She knows what happened to the child. Excuse me. That's the purpose of pushing a narrative to a YouTuber social media site. I got to get this narrative out because I know what happened to the baby. My kid is guilty. So I got to get somebody to believe in my child. Believe in my child. Believe in her version. I got to do that. Chief Hadley, it has come to the Queen's attention that there are some people not happy with you, not just the townspeople pertaining to Buckhalter, but you have law enforcement, I believe, that are not happy because they feel like you are not adhering to the evidence that has been presented in this case. Is that true? And why not? I asked the chat a few days ago, maybe not even a day, but 2 ago, do you have any personal dealings with Billie Joe Howe or Leilani Simon? Are you showing favoritism to these people for a certain reason? It must have been meant for me to ask that question because now I've been informed this evening that she is being suspected, Billie Joe Howe, as being a confidential informant. And somebody wants this information out really bad. I suspect they'll probably reveal themselves at some point, but I don't think they should because that's dangerous considering the fact that they live there. And if they know Billie Joe, then Billie Joe's going to know who told it. And I don't trust anybody that has something to lose. And this hillbilly has something to lose. That's why I told you she's going to give up her daughter because the daughter doesn't have anything. She doesn't have any money. She doesn't own anything. She doesn't have any relationships. Her children are gone. One's dead. She has nothing to lose. She has to rely on somebody. She's codependent. Most addicts are. She's not a functioning addict because if she was a functioning addict, she would have her own home. She wouldn't be living with her mother. She'd be paying rent in her own house, trailer, condo, apartment. So she's not a functioning addict. She's just been getting by with the help of a boyfriend, a one-time babysitter, and her mother and stepfather. You see, you have to ask basic questions when you see something that's not right. Chatham County did not have the manpower to man this case, woman this case. So you sought help from the government. But yet you have stepped on these people, and I do believe they are offended because you've used them. Thank you, child of God. Something led them to the landfill. Amen. You're using them. You're using the FBI because they have the tools and the resources to get down to business when it comes to dumping phones, surveillance. They've got the foot power. You do not. So you reached out to these people 3 hours after investigating the disappearance of Quentin Simon. And yet you've shown these people no respect. None. You're not going to sit here and tell the Queen, somebody has not directly told you, we got enough to bring her in. And yet you refuse to arrest her. Why? So then we have to go ask ourselves, is there something more going on in Chatham County than just the disappearance and the death of a kid? Is there something underlying why this chief won't arrest this chick and the mother? Because Billie Joe was the custodian. So, whoop, poof, voila. Big Ange, I got to tell you something. Somebody thinks she's a confidential informant. So, Chief Hadley, I'm going to ask you directly. Is Billie Joe working for Chatham County Police Department? And are you basically saying to the general public, if it is true, because we're going to say allegedly, she's told somebody she's working for you. 2, why would they lie? 3, why they want to tell it so bad? 4, how did the Queen find out? Oops, because it wasn't from another YouTuber. And 5, are you saying that her being a confidential informant is more important than an arrest for the death of Quentin Simon? Because basically, if this allegation is true, then that is what you are saying to the general public, that the life of a child is not important as having somebody work undercover to bring in dope dealers and junkies. Corrects me if I am wrong. Lord have mercy. I knew something stunk down there, and it wasn't that cow manure and that fish that Billie Joe put out. You're working with that heifer, are you not, sir? And some of us might think that you've been playing footsies with that half man. Woo, shut up, Queen. Are you having an affair with Billie Joe House, sir? Because there's something not right. And I never thought in a million years that there was any type of canoodling going on between you and Billie Joe. So I'm going to ask you again. Are you having an affair with Billie Joe Howe? Is she working for you as a confidential informant? And do you ever plan on arresting Billie Joe Howe for gross negligence of a child, children, knowing that a child was dead, murdered, dumped after the fact, accessory? And are you going to arrest Leilani Simon for the death and discarment of a boy child by the name of Quentin Simon? I'll wait. Lord have mercy. Billie Joel, I know you wonder, Lord, who keeps talking to that big old girl up there? Don't worry about it. All I can tell you is somebody wants you bad down there. I keep telling you all about true crime. There's always somebody lying in the cut waiting to talk. Always somebody that's going to tell the truth. It's up to you to decide if you believe it or not. Chief Hadley. Somebody's not happy with you down there. And I believe it's more than one person. I believe you got a slew of folks that don't like you. And that ain't good when you living in a small rural area. Because we know that them southern folks, kind of like folks up north, they can do some strange things to you when you're not looking. Be ashamed something would happen to you, sir. And I'd hate to find out that you are also married with children. That's the southern drawl coming out of the queen. Are you married, sir? Do you have children, sir? Are you living off the beaten path, sir? The source says you live on Tybee Island. I don't know, do you? I'm sure it's a beautiful place. Gots to be more careful. Hit the link if you have an opinion pertaining to the Debbie Collier case. The Sun has spoken to Court TV, and this new information that has been brought to me by a source that somebody wants to let it be known that BJ is allegedly a confidential informant. I do not know if she is. I want to make sure I let that be known during this live. In the end, it won't matter to me what she is, what she's done, what she's doing. My concern is Quentin Simon. I am not worried about a YouTuber. I'm not worried about somebody on the ground. I'm not worried about somebody pushing a damn dog in a stroller. I don't care about none of that foolishness. All that's ghetto ratchet behavior. These people are 1%ers. They are 1% of what is on top of this dirt, which is about 10 billion people. So that shit they talking about down there ain't nothing. And as Gigi said in the chat, some of them folks don't even watch YouTube. So therefore, you hollering about being a YouTuber is irrelevant. You are non-motherfucking factor. And don't nobody care about you but a bobblehead chasing in behind you. You are nobody. Because if you were somebody, you'd have got something done down there. Say it don't work, baby. Let me try it again. Hold on. I don't know why. We go through this every time I go live. I don't know. It's looking kind of the same to me. Yes, the FBI is still involved in this case. Yes, they are. Thank you all for joining me. One second. This is a shame that this child has been discarded like trash. Nobody cares about him. The people that say they care, all they want to do is stream live every day. That don't sound like somebody that care to me. I said it. That don't prove anything. Yeah, that'd be nice. Won't matter about him going live. People don't care about what Hadley has to say because he's not saying anything. People want to hear about this baby, where this investigation is going. When are you going to have an arrest? Thank you for the super sticker. People want to know is there going to be an arrest? Because all this other foolishness is a distraction. Whether you believe it or not, you entitled to your opinion of these people on the ground, but they're really not important. They're just entertainment for their channel. And how a person navigates his or her platform, that is his or her choice. I don't really care. I try not to even really watch that stuff because it means nothing to me. I'm not trying to give you a view on some foolishness. If you are the type of person that thinks going to jail is amusement that lets me know that you are sick and you do not care for the baby. Because how can you be serving the baby by being incarcerated if indeed you say you care and you're on the ground for the child? So you're contradicting yourself. So that's why I don't listen to that garbage. Leslie?
Yes.
My, you just couldn't wait to get your ass up here, could you? What you got to say, damn.
Okay, so as far as Debbie Collier,
Mm-hmm.
something doesn't sit right with me.
You don't say.
So the son wants his cake and eat it.
Eat it too. Yes, that's my opinion too.
So you want all the help, right? You want the FBI if they're involved, or the state police, whoever it is that's doing their investigation there. So you want their help, you demand their help, and you demand answers, but yet you don't want to answer anything.
Yes.
So that is the normal process.
Yes.
They normally start asking questions minutes into this. Hey, what do you know? Where were you? When's the last time you talked? Blah, 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 blah. So I find it funny that he really doesn't want to be questioned. Why? What do you know, sir? What do you know? Where were you really? Were you really out of town? Like at this point?
I was wondering that too. Somebody in the chat keeps putting this mess about him being blocked. What did you know about that?
About what?
What do you know about him having his mother blocked?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard that.
This is the second time somebody's come in the chat mentioning that. Obviously, they want me to talk about it. I can't talk about it because I don't know anything about it.
It's possible.
Yes, thank you, Susan. Thank you, Crime. Thank you all in the chat.
Maybe they didn't have a good relationship. We don't know because he.
Yeah, and that's what I said. We don't know anything, and I'm always leery when people act afraid to talk, because if you're just talking about a great person, nice, they've never been in trouble with the law, they don't have a lot of enemies, you don't have any problem with going to the news saying, yeah, that's my neighbor, we worked together, she was a great gal, we went out to dinner occasionally. What is the big deal about that? Unless you've got something negative to say and you want to heard, but you're worried about the repercussions of saying it.
Or something tells me they're afraid. Who are they afraid of? The husband or the brother? Something's not.
So what you saying? So who you think they're afraid of?
I think they're afraid of somebody within that immediate family, the husband or the brother, the son.
Okay, so let's scratch this. If the daughter was away, still in Maryland, she wasn't here, could it be they would say something about her? She ain't coming down to whoop nobody's tail. And I can't see nobody being afraid of that little heifer, because I'd have beat her little tail down. I wish a heifer would run up on me talking crazy. You know how the queen get down.
I mean, my other question is where's the money? No one has said, okay, yeah.
I think it's strange that the brother doesn't mention anything about the money. But I think he doesn't really want to talk about anything pertaining to his sister and all the gossip. Turn your background down, Susan.
How do you want answers?
Okay, thank you, honey. Say what, Kenzie?
Like, how do you want answers?
Well, I don't understand. I don't know where he's coming from. Really, I think it's offensive to, say, well, I don't want you badgering my family. I don't want you asking them questions. I want privacy. But hey, tell me what's going on with my mother's case.
I don't think he wants to get caught up in some shit. I think he knows more than he's letting on, and that's why he does not want to be questioned. Because why else would you not want to be questioned?
Hello, T. I don't know. Okay, let's talk about the husband, because y'all go on and on about him and that damn daughter. And do you believe that he and the daughter had something going on or have something going on? How can they have something going on if she just got to town? The woman went missing one day after she got here. So that'll be a hell of a love affair.
Well, I would hope not, because that's just disgusting.
Yeah, but I'm just saying she just got to town. So what kind of relationship could they have had?
I don't think so. Like, I don't
see nothing going on with them. She wasn't here long enough to have something going on with Pawpaw.
And I really find it hard to believe, and this is only my own opinion, that's one hell of a death. If that was a suicide, she went through a whole lot.
But what did she go through exactly? Because we don't even know how she died. We don't even have an autopsy. So what are you talking about?
No. I'm talking about being naked, holding onto a tree, putting a gas can under the car.
Teresa, I will agree with Teresa. I think he just tolerates Amanda. I've been thought that. That will be on the poll after this live because I believe that too. He's only tolerating her because if he's still dealing with her, we don't even know what's really going on.
I don't think that.
But you think she never told her husband, oh, she's in trouble. Oh, they're fighting. Oh, she needs money. Oh, you know that she's probably calling her mother every week for something.
This is just bizarre. And you know that this type of case, you know, it's bizarre, right? They find this woman, they find this car, they find the shit that she bought is there with her involved in this death. The first thing that they're probably going to think of is, like they said, a potential homicide.
But so, you shouldn't think that. How are you going to think that and you don't tell nobody anything?
Yeah, and not only that,
you should have never said anything.
Not going to say anything.
Well,
how the hell are they supposed to get tips?
Well, you should have never said anything if you were not for sure she died by another human being.
They should have just said possibly. It's possible.
I wouldn't even said that. I wouldn't have said nothing because now you've changed the narrative.
This is just.
You shouldn't have said nothing about the Venmo account because that's what got the gossip started about the daughter. And it is not right for us to just, go ham on these people. But we do, as I said, this is a commentary channel. I don't know what happened in that forest, but all I know is people will speculate upon what you give them. So had you never mentioned the Venmo account, the text message, only thing we would have known is that her van was found out there and she went in the damn dollar store. That's it.
That's it, yeah.
And whatever somebody wants to dig up about these people's past by running their government name. Crime Sleuth, what do you have to say about the Debbie Collier case?
Hey, hi.
First tell me where you're calling from. You don't have to give the exact city, but tell me where you're calling from.
I'm in Oklahoma.
Woo, Oklahoma. Okay. What do you have to say about Debbie Collier and her son's commentary to court TV?
I have been on his commentary to court TV. I've actually emailed with him a couple of times and chatted with him on Facebook.
Why?
He
Why?
He originally to see if I could help spread the word when he first came out asking for help when he was frustrated with the police. Because he had gone on another channel and did an interview. And I was like, hey, can I help? Because I've been following the case since day one.
And what did you learn?
And I didn't really learn anything. Nothing. I didn't learn anything at all.
Well, what do you think happened to her?
I actually think it's quite possible that the whole Venmo thing and the death are completely separate incidents.
Well, tell me why.
Trying to connect together that are really not connected.
Tell me why.
Possibility. Just because they happened at the same time doesn't mean that they're related, right?
Well, you gotta use deduction. You have to use deduction in a case. A person in the middle of nowhere, nobody can explain why she's there. They don't even tell us why they thought she was their own family. So then you have, as they're now pinpointing the time she sat in the car is right after coming out of the dollar store. So they now pinpoint the Venmo sent while in the car. It does matter because I'm using the word they. Who are they?
Right.
So now, are you following?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Yeah.
Because they would only matter if there's a they in the van.
True.
Okay.
I do know that when I saw the surveillance video, I was like, how do they know nobody was in that van?
Well, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Was there somebody in there with her?
Do you think there was a possibility there was somebody in the vehicle?
I don't know. But the reason why I use a deduction of no is common sense. I got in your car with you. If I'm alone and I'm making you drive to a undisclosed place, I've got to be able to get back from where I took you, correct? The forest is in the middle of nowhere. Why am I going to walk out of there after murdering you and hitchhike back out of there?
What if the killers from the rehab?
Please don't do that.
I mean,
please don't do that.
I personally, my honest theory is that
the rehab don't have anything to do with it because you got to remember, if I let me finish. If I jumped in your car at the dollar store, What does the rehab have to do with it?
Right. That's the only reason that I think that there's a remote possibility that they're not related. However, the 475 times 5 is the amount of the rehab, which is the amount of the Venmo. That's what got me. Because I called the rehab and it's $475 a month for an adult male.
Well,
and the Venmo message.
I want you to think about what you're saying, sweetheart. Why in the world, if I'm an addict, I have no plans to stop getting high, do I care about a damn rehab?
Well, Andrew was running out of time. He had a month left before he had to prove that he had gone to accepted treatment, begun treatment, according to the documentation.
Okay. So I want you to think about everything that you said.
Went bad out there.
I want you to think about everything that you're saying. See, I chop up everything. I listen more than I talk. I talk a bunch of junk when I get up here, but I've already done my thinking before I go live.
I've watched a bunch of your videos today. I'm super impressed. I love the one that you did on
the rapper.
Oh, I cried so hard. You literally made me cry. My first
About
day
the rapper
with the Quentin video.
Okay.
Oh,
I want you to think about this.
Yeah.
So this is why I try to make you all. Every time you all come up with a hypothesis, what you always have to do is say you got to break down what you said. You understand what I'm saying? I like my chat to think. That's why some people think I'm rude, because I want you to make it make sense. I don't let nobody come in this chat or on my panel say something and they can't back it up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because this is how you get to the truth. We know it's not about the rehab for one reason, and I'll let you answer it. I want you to think.
We know it's not about the rehab because
it's sitting right in front of you, sweetheart.
I don't know, because I mean,
yes, you do. Yes, you do, because you haven't thought about it. It's sitting right in front of you.
What have I missed then? What have I missed?
Come on, think about it. Think about it. If you really followed the case, you know why it's not about the rehab. He and Amanda have been running around talking, running. I fear for my safety. We're barricading ourselves in the house. Bingo card. You ain't in no rehab. Now you follow me? Hello?
I'm listening. No, I don't. I'm honest. I don't get the connection. Help me out.
They're free.
Well, they're
not in rehab.
Right. I'm wondering if maybe that's why they got to keep the money.
I beg your pardon?
Have to go.
I beg your pardon?
Do you think maybe they decided we'll just keep the money?
No, I'm gonna let you answer your own questions, because this is your theory. So think about what you're saying now. They changed their mind. So that means if I did murder her, it wasn't for the rehab money. Bingo card.
Okay. Let me think that out. I got
you. Gotta think that out?
I got you now.
Crime sleuthing. Now you can't use that title, crime sleuthing. Come on now. I'm not trying to be mean.
I love crime sleuthing.
But that's sitting right in your face. They've been walkie-talkies.
I have figured out some good ones. I have done some really good sleeping.
Okay, but listen, they've been walkie-talkies.
Crazy.
They've been walkie-talkies all through this. Oh, we're afraid of our safety. Oh, no. Yeah. That was your evidence right there. These folks ain't thinking about no rehab.
Well, what if it is about the rehab, but they're just not the suspects?
I don't follow you.
What if it is connected somehow to the rehab, but they're not the suspects? What if the Venmo is completely separate? If the Venmo sending was completely okay, let's say, you remember the path that she took. She came back, she came past the rehab, came to the dollar store, and then she came back and then parked there. They determined that was her path. So what if she stopped at the rehab, tried to tour the facility? They told her, you can't tour the facility unless the person's with you, which is what they told me on the phone. They told me, we can't talk about the case, but we can tell you, you can't tour the facility unless the person that is wanting to come here is with you.
Okay.
So look at the Venmo message. They won't let me go. Here's the money. That does add up, right? If you're reading the Venmo. They won't let me go. Here's the money. So that's what kind of led me down that path was when.
So are you trying to say that Amanda knew who they are? Because somebody else in the chat is saying that, and then that was also mentioned in the court TV program.
Yes, I think that they is the rehab. That's what.
Oh no, I'm talking about Amanda. Does Amanda know who the they are? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, I think she did. I think she.
So I'm trying to understand this rehab. So what are you trying to say? The people at the rehab are dirty? I don't understand.
No, I think they probably told the police that Debbie came in there and was wanting to tour the facility, and they told her she couldn't.
Okay, but who are the they? What does it have to do with the rehab? I'm lost.
I think that
because there's no way somebody from the rehab walked out with her, put a gun to her head. They were supposed to have no weapons. So I don't understand where you're taking this. I'm utterly confused.
Right. I think that right. That's why I'm not sure on. I'm not sure if it's Andrew or if it's somebody else.
Okay.
That they
Somebody
know.
in the chat says Andrew maybe
going to
wrote
go.
that and she knew it was him. Maybe. Una, who are you speaking of? She knew it was him. Maybe. She who? Who are you speaking of? The dead woman or the daughter? You all got me all the way lost.
She drove into town. She drove past.
I don't understand where you're coming from with this rehab. When I first heard the rehab, I knew that didn't even make no sense to me before you all even tried chopping that up because
And she was found dead right next to the path. That ravine is just a few feet off of the path. The people that went out there and toured it showed me on video that it's right off.
So what is the purpose? So let me go here then. When she's sitting in the car and sending the money, this is before she ever gets to the ravine.
Right. That's after.
Why did she send the daughter? Why did she send? Listen, baby, just listen. Why did she send the money to the daughter?
Because I think she. Okay, let me break down the Venmo message the way I interpreted it. Because you only get so many characters on Venmo, so I think that's why she sent it the way she did. If my theory is correct, they won't let me go. Here's the money, the keys under the door or the doormat, the blue flower pot. I love you. Okay.
So you're saying you think the lady went up there to check herself in?
No, they won't let me go without the person with me. They wouldn't let her go in. I called the rehab. They said you can't come in here and take a tour unless the person who's.
Okay, so let's go from there. She went there to tour. She went there to tour the place for whomever, herself or somebody else.
Right. And
what does it have to do with how she got in the ravine?
They won't let me go. So maybe she just went for a walk. She picked up a bottle. That right next to the rehab is the place where they sneak over to do their drugs. From the rehab.
You want me to believe this woman parked her car off honey, it's in the middle of nowhere, at the force. She went and parked in this little bitty place that nobody would even notice if you're going 65 miles an hour or more. You would miss that. You'd have no reason to even care about that little piece of concrete where you could park a car. You went there because you knew you could go in there. Because I could tell you, I'd have no reason right now if I drove by that place. I have no reason to pull in there unless I was having something wrong with maybe my bowels.
True. Yeah.
And if I'm going 60, 70 miles an hour, I'm going to have to now pull over and back up and go backwards.
She had to meet somebody there. Somebody had to have met her there.
Okay, so that's why you need to, because you all over the place right now. I need you to make some sense.
Okay. I think somebody met her there at that location.
Okay.
After they told her, after they at the rehab told her, you can't come in here and do a tour unless you have the person.
So she went from Chick-fil-A dollar store with a tarp bag, lighter, paper towels to go to a damn rehab. Make it make sense?
No, the rehab was first. She came in through first. She stopped at the rehab. They wouldn't let her tour the facility. So I think that whoever was going to be at the rehab, maybe that person was with her at the time.
In the car,
and we just didn't see them. Maybe they were in
So
the
who
back,
was it? So who
and
was
they were
it?
perhaps going to stay out there.
Who was it?
Don't know. She did have a very good reputation for helping a lot of people. And
So let's just say she took an innocent person, a random person, half-assed person she knew, all the way up the highway to check them into the rehab, because we're fetching now. And then that don't make sense because then she'd have the person with her that was supposed to be checking themselves in.
Right.
So that theory is debunked.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? That's why I'm thinking. That's why I keep
No,
going
it's not
back to
crazy
her
to me because
being dead.
Queen
I
mind
think they
sticks.
may be completely separate.
I stick to common sense and deduction. That's how I work.
Well, that's what I said. The very
You
first
gotta
thing
make
I said.
you gotta
I
make
think
it
they're
make
completely
sense.
separate.
I'm gonna tell you what I think happened. Something's wrong with Debbie Collier, and all this was pre-planned. She went up there to do what she wanted to do to herself to possibly make it look like she was assaulted. And something went wrong when she got down to that ravine and laying all that stuff out. Because you got to remember, a gas can has been mentioned. So how do you get remnants from a gas can? Where are the other remnants at? They said somebody threw that under her van. How did it get under there?
Somebody threw what under her van? What was found?
Remnants of a gas can. See, you leaving all this stuff out.
Oh. That I haven't heard.
Yes,
Okay.
Court TV.
Wow.
Wow. See? So now you got to explain that. They also said that the car, they also said that under the car, if the car was burned, they do not specify where it was burned. So see, now you got to make all that make sense with your theory of a rehab and this person went alone. Okay, still, how would they get from where they're at if I went with her? See, that's the one part that don't add up. I'm not getting ready to go out here in the middle of nowhere and kill somebody and hitchhike my way out of no forest.
Yeah, I hear you. Did you
See
just
what I'm
say
saying?
part of the car was burned?
Yeah, see, you haven't been following all this, sweetheart.
Not on Court TV. I gave up on Court TV.
Well, you can't give up. Listen. You can't follow the story and then say I give up.
Well, I watch Law and Crime. Court TV they talk so much. I like to get.
But that's their job. I talk a lot too. How am I going to give you the information if I don't talk?
Well, they talk fluff. It's just Law and Crime just gets right down to the meat and potatoes, and that's what I like.
Well, crime. Obviously, they ain't told you about the burnt car and the damn gas can up under.
No. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm going to add Court TV back. I did not know. That's on me. I didn't know.
Okay.
I had
no idea. That's why I'm saying when they start adding all this extra stuff in, it starts to make it look like possibly Debbie is not mentally stable.
Got you.
Because you have to think about how that gas can, part of the can got under there. You had to put it under there. Somebody. Be it her, a stranger that was lurking in the woods. How did she catch on fire? Why was her stomach burned? What was the manner of death? Why was she holding on to the tree when she was found? Make it make sense. Why was the door unlocked? If I took somebody, they would have used the truck to come back out of there. They're not going to hitchhike in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
Were there strangers lurking and they met her while she's doing whatever it is she was doing? They're also saying that it's possibly that she used drugs. You didn't even know that, did you?
They said drug related, but I thought that it would possibly be.
Well, you have to use common sense on that. Drug related would tell you that possibly they found something on the victim, such as paraphernalia.
Which could be the shake and bake thing.
Or drugs in her system.
Yes, which can also be a shake and bake explosion.
Well, I'm just saying drugs, using drugs.
Yeah.
But then the crazy part about that is that we're to believe that she went up there for whatever reason, which we don't know why. Who in the hell goes out in the middle of the forest to get high way far away from her house? She could have went anywhere near her house and got high.
Yeah.
If it means she was a drug user.
Yeah, that didn't add up for me. I was just like, oh.
Yes, Sally. That was mentioned on Court TV.
Against.
But when you see the car being put on the tow truck, you don't see anywhere on the front or the side, driver's side, that was burned. So I don't know if they meaning under the car or inside of the car. I have no idea. Maybe it's part of the engine or something. Kim says she might have been cooking it herself and it blew up. Yes, possibly. Very good point.
Yeah, that was actually. If you look at the photos, the original crime scene photos. Little bit personal story here, y'all. Sorry. My 30-year-old son is an addict. He is in rehab. He was clean for a year, relapsed. Now he put himself in rehab. He's been there for 2-3 months now, doing good. He was missing. He was one of those homeless addicts for a while.
Okay. How old is he?
Every time I'd hear on the news that they found another body.
Well, how, ma'am, can you tell us how old he is?
He's my son's 30.
Okay.
And But when we didn't know where he was, and I'd hear they found a body, I'd have to go down and check, and I'd go searching for him. And I was very familiar with the homeless camps. And I learned really quick not to pick up bottles. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. And homeless people will tell you that's how they make their drugs. They use plastic bottles and they cook it. They put it in the sun and they cook it. And so I thought that maybe Debbie went for a walk, saw this bottle and picked it up and it exploded. Because the shake and bake meth method that they use is highly volatile. And if you pick it up, especially at the wrong time, or you shake it or you open it, it's going to explode. That causes a flash fire, which would explain the burns on her stomach. It would explain the fire on the leaves above her. And it would knock her out. It would knock her unconscious for a little bit. And then the poison from the drugs would get all over her and it would seep into her skin and that could kill her. That was my original theory, that she went for a walk after going to the rehab and being told, no, you can't come here without your person. So she went for a walk, picked up this bottle, and it exploded. Or she took it away from somebody that she was bringing those things to from the dollar store. That somebody was going to be staying out there, that she was helping, because she is known for doing that. I thought she was trying to bring something to somebody out there that was going to be staying there.
And why would she be doing that, ma'am?
She did that. Her son there was an article, both of her other son, not this one that was asking for help, but the other one, said that she's done that before. She's done what? Went out in the middle of nowhere helping people? Yeah. Okay. That she's helped homeless people before. Okay. So that is. So what? So what? Somebody harmed her? Maybe she saw it and was like, "What's this?" and picked it up and it exploded, and the person took off. Maybe they were afraid, Ooh, boy, that's a bit much there. It's possible. I don't know. Okay. It doesn't make a lot of noise. If you Google it, it doesn't make a lot of noise. It's not like you hear explosion and you think it's going to be like a big boom. It's like a big splash, really. Okay, so like Jonna says, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, Jonna, then why was she naked? The melting of it's like a flash fire. If you open the bottle, I think part of her jersey was still on her too, so that's why I don't know what's the truth. If indeed the jersey was off and partially burned or on partially burned, I don't know. I'm gonna let somebody else finish right now. That information. Yeah. Hello, Susie. Quite enough information.
Hi. I hope you're having a blessed day.
Where are you calling from, honey?
I'm calling from Kerrville, Texas. It's outside of San Antonio.
Okay, welcome to Everyday Shenanigans. Let's start with Debbie Collier first. What do you have to say about Debbie Collier, ma'am, and the Sun, speaking of Court TV?
Well, what I think is the coroner has always ruled it undetermined. And I think they came out too quick with that press conference before they knew all the facts.
Okay.
But I also think, or I've heard, that she was coming off opiates from being weaned off of them from her back.
Okay, who told you that, ma'am?
I heard it on some channel. It may or may not be true, but it makes sense because that would make you really depressed.
Okay. So what do you think happened to her on that fateful morning?
I think she went there to meet someone and they didn't show up, and she was thinking about ending her life anyway.
Okay.
So she just did it.
So you think she was already suicidal when she decided to go meet somebody up in that general area?
Yes, I mean, you don't become suicidal in the snap of a moment.
No, I don't.
It grows.
No. So what about this rehab theory that some people have come up with? What do you think about that?
I don't believe that because it was a male rehab center. And why would you be going to a male rehab center?
Okay. So the Venmo account and the text about the key in the flower pot. Tell me what you think about that.
I think she was trying to make it look like something it wasn't.
Yes, I do.
Maybe for life insurance purposes.
Do you think perhaps, well, life insurance means that she would know that somebody would be getting some money if she died?
Right. I don't know that she has life insurance, but a lot of them don't pay out for suicide.
No, they don't. No life insurance pays for suicide.
Right. So that would give her a motive to make it look like it was something other than it was.
So explain that to me, because if you're going to do this, you're going to have to at least do your research. So if you did your research, you know you can't get paid for suicide. So what are you saying? I'm going to kill myself so my husband can get some money and be happy? I don't understand what you're saying, sweetie.
I don't think she was thinking about or cared about who got the money. I just think she wanted the life insurance to go through.
Oh, you mean you're just saying she just wanted to die?
Yes, I think
that makes more sense, because I don't think people really are thinking about somebody getting money when they want to kill themselves.
No, I don't think so either. But I think she may have known that the life insurance didn't pay out if it was a suicide.
So
that would give her a motive
or something.
Excuse me?
Think she tried to set herself on fire or something?
I think she was trying to go with carbon monoxide poisoning, and the fire just got too high and burned her.
So how would she get that poisoning? I'm confused now. Usually people do that inside the car.
If she covered the fire up and was underneath the tarp or whatever, the fire would have caused carbon monoxide, and they did have soot in her lungs.
I see. So you think she took that tarp out there to cover herself up and inhale the fumes?
I do think that, yes.
You know, the fact that you're thinking of that is very scary.
Yeah, well, people that commit suicide do a lot of research
like that. But see, let's be truthful. This is too much. It's too winded. Who wants to go through all this trouble of wasting gas, riding up a highway, to do all this when you can find a very simple way to kill yourself, such as take some pills, shoot yourself, hang yourself, jump in a river? You see where I'm going?
I know, but I know she also sent those texts to her daughter, cleaned out her bank account and gave it to her daughter, and then she texted her son. But I think his son had her blocked because it didn't go through. So I think there's more trouble in that family than has come out.
Did you hear a rumor that he had blocked his mother, ma'am?
Yes, I did, because she tried to text him and it did not go through.
I did hear that. I did hear that information on a source that it didn't go through, but that's not what I came to the conclusion. That didn't even cross my mind. Why the call didn't make it? Because I thought maybe she was somewhere where there was no Wi-Fi. Did that ever occur to any of you?
Yeah, but the other one went through, so she obviously.
But listen, slow down. Maybe when she drove off after sending the Venmo and the text, she got in an area, because you forgot they're in the middle of nowhere, where maybe she was driving and texting, because some of you do this. You text and drive. Maybe she got in a spot that was grainy and could not send the text.
That's true, but they said both texts were sent from the at the same time.
Around the same time. Yeah, I think I heard that. Okay, that's true. I had to think about that for a minute.
Did they though? Did they actually say that? Because I don't think are you sure?
Well, we're talking from a network that you don't like to watch crime sleuthing. You don't like court TV, so that's where a lot of this information. I can tell you all the information we're speaking of has come from court TV.
I'm just making sure, because I dug on that one because I was really curious and I couldn't find where anybody actually said.
Gigi, I don't know. That's why I'm saying all of this is crazy to me, because when they first mentioned that about the gas can under the car, I was just like, okay, God, what are these people trying to tell us? Because now the story is getting even more crazy.
Yeah, I heard that part of the gas can was in the fire pit area, or where the fire was.
They said on court TV under the car.
I don't know about that.
That means somebody had to have thrown it under there. That's what led me to believe that she was trying to hurt herself or stage a fake like kidnapping or assault.
Well, I do think it was definitely staged.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Jesus me. Wow.
And with some families and with a lot of people, suicide is embarrassing. So You know, it may have been for her family that she covered it up like that.
But let's think about this. You're out in the middle of nowhere. There are people who are trained to decipher between a accident, suicide, murder, right? If these people are trained properly, they're going to know you did this to yourself because of fingerprints. Your prints are the only prints on the tarp, on the paper towels, on the lighter.
Well, the coroner did rule it undetermined.
Well,
before the police came out with all that.
I hadn't picked up on a coroner's report yet.
Yeah, that's what the first thing that came out was the coroner said undetermined. So I was really surprised about the press conference.
Well, where did you hear that from? I never heard that in the beginning of the story.
I watched so many crime channels, I couldn't tell you.
I have not heard that there was a matter of death or anything mentioned. No. All right, Kenzie, what do you have to say? Because I want to jump off of this. If you all can finish saying what y'all got to say about Debbie Collier.
I'm going to step down. I'm going to step down so that somebody else can get on up here. But I wanted to say thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
You're
all
awesome.
right. Have a wonderful weekend.
You're incredible. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see where you're calling from.
Illinois.
All right, baby. You anywhere near the Shy, baby?
I'm in Peoria.
Peoria.
Richard Pryor's home.
Peoria, what do you have to say about Debbie Collier's son and his issues with the sheriff and this case, where it's going? Not a murder. Go.
Well, okay. Yeah, I can tell you, I don't think it's shake and bake. That's the furthest thing I think it was. Okay. That's like the biggest no for me.
Okay.
The crystal version of that drug is going for $20 a pop right now. I don't know it because I do it myself.
Wait. Slow down. What did you just say, ma'am?
The crystal. I don't know what I can and cannot say on.
Well, I don't care what you say. Just don't tell me you done killed somebody, because I don't want that shit.
Hell no.
So you're telling me that you currently use narcotics, Gypsy?
No.
Well, what are you trying to tell me?
I have 3 brothers that all are in different stages of that, specifically that drug.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so you don't think it was that? You don't think she was trying to get high with some shake and bake and bake and shake? I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't no shake and bake. Okay, no, I don't think that at all. I can't figure out what it was.
So let's start with your theory of what happened to Debbie Collier in the wilderness.
I don't. First of all, I agree that it's staged.
Okay, thank you.
Second of all,
we got 3 votes on staged.
I can't figure out if she staged it herself, but I read.
Turn your volume down, Gypsy. Turn your volume down just a little bit, sweetheart.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Hang on just a second. Is that better?
Okay, go ahead, speak, sweetie. Okay, everybody says the same thing. Scene is staged. 4. We got 4 for staged.
I just don't know if it was her that staged it or if it was somebody else.
Wait a minute, Gypsy. Now, what you trying to say? She had somebody else in there with her?
No, I think that I think there had to have been 2 cars. Just like, and I've been saying that.
Listen to what you're saying. I'm going to follow you up there to do what, and then drive and know what happened to you and play dumb? Is that where you're going?
If there's somebody else involved.
Okay, but let's go there. Let's go here. We're going to chop it up. I got you to follow me to do what exactly, and now the person is holding the secret of what the fuck happened in that forest. Make it make sense.
No, I'm saying if there is somebody else involved, it was a setup. I'm not saying that Debbie involved somebody else to go through all this and that.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if there is somebody.
Well, give me your theory.
I don't have a set theory. I'm all over the.
Lord, Gypsy.
I'm good at deducting and reasoning, and I can't with the shake and bake, and I can't with the.
Forget about the shake and bake.
I couldn't do that one.
Listen, I told myself. Lord. Listen, I know me. I'm impatient. If I'm trying to get high, I might just get high on top of the hood of the car in the driveway. Way up no highway to get high. Go to the dollar store. That's too much work.
Go to a dollar store 70 miles away on top of that.
That's why I think she did it on purpose. The father out, no witnesses, nobody knows me, nobody can ask questions, nobody can say they saw me in a dollar store bingo card.
Right.
Queen good.
Well, And you saw the video since you watch Court TV. You saw that the son now thinks that it wasn't her in the dollar store.
Say what?
Yeah, he was on Court TV today. He's like,
I watched
yeah.
it. I played it earlier tonight.
I just jumped
That's
on.
what I
was
thought
like,
he was trying to say. So he doesn't think that's his mother. Okay, I'm saying it. That lady got the same fried blonde hair because in all her pictures, her hair is super straight. She's got straight, coarse hair. Now you can see her phases: dark brown, medium brown, platinum blonde. That's oh my God.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Oh man. So he's in denial.
Yes. I think that's exactly what it is. He's in denial. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, guess what? I'm going to do it like this. If you're in denial, you need to quit calling the police and just move on.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're not going to be receptive of anything they bring you. And the fact that they moved too fast to say that they thought it was a murder, was targeted. Now you're changing the narrative to suicide, accident, drug related. Everybody just needs to quit talking.
I agree.
So they can bring a definite answer to what they think happened to Debbie Collier.
It is crazy how fast they did
they
say
should
that
have never
it was
said it.
not.
Because that would upset a person if they start, when you start saying suicide and accidental, then a person's head starts spinning like, well, what the hell was she doing up there? Well, why was she in the middle of there? And why did she buy those items? So then you're going to start thinking the worst. And that's the place where most people, especially family, they're not going to want to think that about their loved one, that they set this up as suicide. They're not going to want to think that.
No, they're not going to want to believe it. Even if it is true, it might take them, like with all the proof in the world, it might take them time to accept.
Yeah. Yeah. This is bad. Do you think she set it up to make it look like an assault?
That's definitely a possibility.
Okay. Do you think it's suicidal?
I don't know about that one. That would be, like you said, that's a lot of work to commit suicide.
Yeah, that's why I said it's too much work. It's too much driving. You're wasting gas. You're buying tarps. And damn, you got to be, to me, crazy. It's been done. But it's been done as far as staging. Right. It looked like Papini act like she was taking a walk or run. She leaves her phone deliberately for them to find the phone. She broke her own nose. She chopped off her hair. She branded herself. That's when you are loco.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah. And that's why I played information about her a week or so ago in relation to Papini, because I said, could this possibly be another issue of a mentally disturbed woman? And Papini I brought into the fold because Papini went all the way out to stage a kidnapping. She blamed Hispanic women, which was very derogatory and disrespectful. That was disrespectful.
Yes, super disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was disgusting. And I'm glad she's finally catching the heat for that. But it took this long for that to happen, you know?
Mm-hmm. So let's go here. The family, their role, if any. They say they have no evidence linking none of these relatives to her death.
I don't know that they did have any.
Mm-hmm. Because I think it was daughter was the Venmo and that text. That's what got all this stuff started to me.
Right, and I think it was easy, and is still easy for people to throw the blame at.
But we would have known
daughter.
That. But Gypsy, nobody would have known that. You told that. The police told that. He should have kept that to himself if he didn't know manner of death. You should have held that to the vest until you knew how she died. That's what got all the media, social media hype that, oh, she did this. Then you're digging in her past. Oh, my God, she's on drugs. Oh, now we're getting audio from the police with the boyfriend. And, oh, she did this. She locked me out the house. She got my stuff. She used it. It went on and on.
Yeah, and it's because that she has a checkered past that people are so quickly to jump on her.
Yes.
And I don't like that. I know. I am a former drug addict.
And look, I'm guilty because I said, damn, this girl stayed in trouble. She's stealing from the boyfriend. Now we got a mama mailing money through a Venmo. What the hell's going on?
Yeah. It didn't look good for her, but I don't know, man. Like they have said, like you said, they haven't said they cleared her.
Yeah.
But they pretty much said it without saying it.
Mm-hmm.
As far as they pinged their phones, and they said they did come out and say that they pinged the family's phones and that none of them were in the area. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
she may have had her phone off or
Yeah,
whatever.
they just said it was turned off. I do believe I heard that the phone was turned off.
Oh, Debbie's?
Yeah, after that Venmo account was sent, that Venmo money.
Yeah. I'm almost positive it says it turns off right at 2:33 or whatever. But I'm saying Amanda's could have been turned off if we want to be really conspiracy-ist.
Oh, I see. And then she didn't get it until later, but I doubt that.
Yeah.
Because another thing that's interesting about the Venmo money, police, as the last time I checked, which was probably a week or two ago or more, they don't have any information to where the money went, which is very bizarre. What do you mean? All you do is ask the person, what'd you do with the money?
Yeah, I find that odd too.
So let's go here. Did they ask her about the money and she declined to answer?
Possibly, because she was like, whatever, my mom sent me that money and I'm going to use it on whatever I want to send. It's not anybody's business.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. If
Sally's
it truly was Debbie.
Ooh, wow, Sally.
Well, yeah, that's true too, though. Cops do lie, but
okay. So
I don't think they're lying about.
I'm gonna have to go back in to check to see what the manner of death, because as of yet, I think it was supposed to be released early in the week. Somebody got very angry with me in the comment section saying, "You're saying horrible things about her," and just about. I just was like, you all, I'm relaying what the news has revealed.
Yeah, I haven't heard you
As far as
say
the
anything.
drug, I didn't make that up.
No, they came out and said that day one. Like that was one of the first things I heard was.
Wow, see, I never heard that.
I'm not implying that she used drugs. What I'm saying is that the cops were implying that the drugs.
See, I never heard that.
Involved.
I just heard that recently, maybe not even 2 weeks ago, about the drugs. So this lady was going on and tripping, and I thought, lady, you must don't watch TV. This stuff I'm getting is from the news. This is not from Facebook.
Yeah, they said that from like the beginning.
Okay, I never heard it.
I don't know that they're sticking by that or not, but I don't know.
Well, Beth, if she's going to the game, how did she end up in the force? You all don't seem to understand. Just because I wear a baseball cap and a jersey does not mean I'm going to the game.
Well, in Georgia, too, like everybody dresses up for the game.
But we all, here in Tennessee, we do the same thing. We wear stuff and we don't go to the game.
No, that's right. Exactly. That's what I'm in Illinois, but yeah, I'm from Tennessee.
Yeah, but I'm saying. I don't like when they was throwing that out. Oh, shit on Georgia stuff. So what?
I've been trying to tell people that from the beginning. Like,
anybody can wear a baseball cap and it be the middle of the fucking week and there are no games.
Yeah.
You wore the hat because you like the Bulls or the Titans or whoever your team.
Right.
That's that day.
Her husband works parking cars for the I mean, they're fans whether they're at the game or not.
Game.
I don't think she was ever going to the game.
I think this was staged because now that you changed the narrative, you had to sing something to say this was not murder, which means you prematurely put that out. And why would you change it now all of a sudden? Because that means you saw something possibly in the autopsy. Ting.
Yes.
To say she wasn't murdered.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I can't get to the bottom of it.
All right.
There's too much. I love you though. I just found you the other night and I had to hop on here.
Thank you so much, Gypsy. Let's go roll over to the hot subject of the night. Billie Joel, confidential informant. It's what was told to me tonight that somebody has sent out some information, believe that she told them this and they want this public. So what do you think about her being a confidential informant? That's why she hasn't been arrested, her or daughter.
So that's why I clicked on your link because I hadn't heard that yet. So that's the word that she's a CIA.
That's the word. That's the word that came to me tonight.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't trust her to be one, but
think about what you're saying now.
What is because she's the mom?
No, think about what you're saying. When was it? How was it supposed to be some trust in that game?
I don't know.
Because there is no trust in that game.
Oh, in a CI? Right, absolutely.
There's no trust in the street. There's no loyalty. So cops know this when they decide to ask you or barter with you to be an informant.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's no loyalty.
Right.
It's a matter of me using you to get what I want. And I'm using you for a reason, because that means you've done something for me to come to you and ask you to be an informant. 9 times.
Right. Right. But
So let's just say that possibly Billie Joe has been doing stuff. She never changed. She's no different than the daughter. So
Oh, I think that I'm operating on that theory anyway.
Huh?
Because I'm operating on the theory that she is doing stuff that she's never changed, that she's not. The apple didn't fall far from the tree, and I don't think Mama's changed much.
Wills, let me make this clear in this live, and I'm not going to say it again during this live. Somebody contacted me directly involved with the case, not a YouTuber, not a crackhead, not a whatever you want to call them. Official. I got information officially from a source that somebody want to get the information out. And it has nothing to do with a dolly, a YouTuber, or anything. So let me make that clear. I don't watch his content, so that's not where I heard it from. This person is not even affiliated with YouTube or Savannah. None of that. I'm not bringing you anything pertaining to Dolly Vision. Let me make that clear. I do not watch his content unless I'm getting it off of a balanced channel.
Same.
I ain't subscribed. I don't go look for him because he didn't send for me. Let me make that clear. You may have heard him say something about her being an informant. I don't have no knowledge of that because I don't watch him.
Yeah.
I got my source tonight from somebody else that is involved in the investigation, not no YouTuber. Go ahead.
I do definitely think it could be true.
Okay.
Like there definitely is a possibility that could be true. I've seen texts that she's put out where it seems like she wants to keep Leilani real close, and I don't know if that's her motherly instincts finally kicked in, or if it's because she is a CI, or both.
Crime, you all are so funny. You all are killing me down there. Yes, that's the whole point. Oh, let me make this clear. The information I've been getting pertaining to the case should be the obvious. They are directly got their foot in the Quentin Simon investigation.
Right.
They're not holding signs. They're not yelling obscenities.
Thank God.
They don't watch YouTube. They don't care about YouTube. Well, Kim, interesting question. She said, so confidential informants can get away with murder. That's what I posed earlier. Are we saying that an informant is more important than arresting somebody who had custody of the child, who left their child with the daughter, who we do believe killed the child? So you're saying what, if we're to believe that she is a confidential informant? And it is true. Let's just say it is true. Chief Hadley, are you sending the message that you care more about an informant than solving the crime of the child?
I mean, they've done it before in other cases.
Wow.
They've protected somebody to.
Yeah, but we're talking about a baby dead. You've been an informant. It's totally separate than a child is dead.
I mean, they've done it before though, with other crime, with other murders.
But what if we got this chief and he's in cahoots with this heifer? Because all I know, he could be screwing her. I don't know. And then he feels some type of way for her. I got to keep her on because she's bringing me information. I ain't going to worry about the fact she left her kid. She left those kids alone. She didn't really kill the baby. She wasn't there.
Yeah, like that would be his line of reasoning, his line of thinking. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, totally.
Lord have mercy.
I mean, if that is true, I would think that would definitely be the line of thinking.
Do you think she should be arrested for gross negligence of the children?
The grandma?
Yes.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
How do you feel about the protesters when they were on the ground before the sign went up?
I thought it was rude, disgusting, and uncalled for because there were neighbors. I don't care how anybody feels in that. How anybody feels in that. Neighbors need to sleep. There's
Yeah.
autistic children. There's elderly people that live on that block.
Yes.
There was a woman on hospice on
Yes.
that block.
Yeah, I had heard something about somebody on hospice.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Do you think they will stop? Miss Betty Bullhorn, she said she's going to continue. She said to the news, I played that audio earlier. She said she's going to continue. She doesn't care how many times she gets arrested. I thought, well, you just must got a lot of money. YouTubers, you all are paying for Betty to keep getting arrested. So know that when you donate to her channel and send cash apps or however you're sending money, she don't give a damn. So she don't give a damn about your pocketbook. Ting.
She's been arrested 42 times. I don't think she's trying to get arrested again. She was out
Well,
there
she
for
said,
a whole...
this is what I'm saying to you. She said it on a live news broadcast, ma'am.
Right. I saw her today on a clip channel where she was out there for a whole 20 minutes. And then the cop, like, well, it wasn't even 20 minutes because the cops came and they're like, you got to go. And they're like, we're giving you 20 minutes. And that lady was packed up and out of there.
Okay. Well, she let the news know at the courthouse or wherever they were, police station. I will go. I will go over there. I don't care. What those
She
are
might,
her words.
yeah, she might go
I
over
don't
there
care
for
how many
five
times I get
minutes a
arrested.
day.
So my thing is, you must got a lot of money. You must got some long money that you can just keep getting arrested. And then you're paying hotel fees, all that, gotta eat.
Yep. She made $390 in the 5 minutes she was on today, according to 3 different clip channels that are independent of one another. They would have come up, and it wouldn't have been hard to come up with that calculation in 5 minutes. You know
So what
I
you
mean?
saying? She was telling you how much she was getting cash via Venmo or Cash Apps?
I think this is just what they saw.
Or you
on
were counting the
Super Chat.
sticker. You were counting the stickers in the chat.
I mean, I didn't count them, but these people are usually pretty.
Well,
good.
you
I
don't
think
get
it
that
was
money
just-
right away. Let me let everybody in the viewing
Right.
audience know how YouTube works. What you see as far as stickers in the chat, you do not get that day. That comes once a month to your Google account.
And it's only a third, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you send me $10 via sticker on the certain day of the month when I get my money, if I get any money. YouTube has took out their portion of that $10 time how many other 10, 5, 199s you sent.
Right.
Okay. So you can understand.
Right. Well, my mic is getting ready to die, and I don't want to talk to you through
That's
my
okay.
phone.
Thank you so much, Gypsy.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, and
You're
I
welcome,
look forward
sweetheart.
to talking to you again soon.
Oh, anytime, sweetheart. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
babe.
All right, honey. That's Gypsy. Kenzie, what you got to say? Who is this in here? She is a confidential informant. She's not the prime suspect of the deceased Quentin Simon. Delana Hicks, you're not making no sense.
Something.
What does one have to do with the other?
To me, none of this even adds up anymore.
Lord have mercy.
To be honest, I mean, I think I've been saying it on the live that he's either got something on her or she's got something on him, because to come out, so this is all his fault, because he's the one that came out publicly and said she is the prime suspect in this little.
Well, her being the prime, because Leilani is the prime suspect. What does that have to do with Billy Joel being an informant? Nothing.
What I'm saying is, he started all the chaos, right, by talking about the daughter being the prime suspect. Then, all these people that are invested in this case, we're all sitting here like, okay, this shit's not adding up now.
Thank you, Adam Smith. You must know my friend Kinsley up here. Prime suspect don't mean only suspect. Exactly.
So
that's why I tell you, you have to listen to the wording of the words when spoken, because a lot of you do not listen. Because my mod preaches that all the time about prime suspect. Does not mean that nobody else could have aided in the crime. It's just that I'm pointing the finger at her right now. Doesn't mean I have to reveal to you anybody else that I believe helped with the crime.
And I think people are forgetting. Nobody has
exhausted up here.
No one has been excluded or cleared.
I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't keep doing this. I can't. If I'd known I was going to be doing this right here, I would have gone and got a degree in education.
Well, don't even try to educate them anymore, because they just come in here wanting to fucking
I
fight.
can't. It's like you're talking to the wall and expecting the wall to answer you back.
That's just kind of why I go.
That's not nice, Miss Lady.
But you know what I'm saying.
Jesus wept.
They come in, they want to fight. They have.
They argue all the time. Where'd you hear that? I don't know anything about that. Well, damn, are you involved in the case?
There's just none of this adds up anymore.
These people take stuff so personal. It's just like, that's why I know. That's why I say the things I say in my lives, that a lot of you are borderline like these people in the story. If you could just read some of your comments, I think you'd be amazed that it came out of your mouth. Some of the stuff y'all say, just some really wild stuff. And I'm sure people who are watching these channels, investigating and trying to see who's talking, who's hiding behind the profile names, they're probably looking too like something ain't right with that profile right there.
None of this even adds up anymore.
Oh,
To me, the first thing when you and I were talking, I'm like, oh man, she's got to know him. He's got to know her.
Yeah.
Something is I've been saying this for a solid 2 weeks. And
no, Gypsy, you're fine.
I wish that either he wouldn't have mentioned her, or mentioned maybe that they had eyes on Leilani, and just kind of left it vague and let the public know.
He should have never. Yeah, he should have never said she's a suspect of any form. Because if you tell people that, and then naturally they're going to be expecting you to arrest her. And
like she said, she's just sitting there waiting. They're not afraid of anything. Clearly, they're just.
Somebody says, imagine the lawsuit against Betty and Dolly if she's innocent. If who's innocent?
Yeah, that would have to be. They would have to go after the city or the county or whoever. This is just YouTube. This is just personal opinion. But
they would have to sue a lot of people if you're talking about people talking bad about them and stop.
They don't even have the money to be suing anybody. Something don't add up. You got a baby killer and a grandmother that had custodial custody.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I will agree that there's possibly something going on with the chief.
Something, man.
What in God's name? If this is just, as I said, an ego trip, I don't know, but he needs to put an end to it, because I'm tired of talking about these hillbillies. I'm tired of all the speculations. I'm tired of all the made-up rumors. I'm tired of hearing all these wild-ass stories. I don't indulge in that stuff because it doesn't mean anything.
All those people that are there from all over the United States, it is costing the government so much money. We're talking about feeding them 3 times a day, paying for their room, rental cars, dry cleaning, laundromat vouchers. These people,
Jam, that's why you talk to the police. You don't have to come forward to talk about anything. That's what you all don't seem to understand. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You all have got to get out of this phase, this cloud where you feel like a person owes you an explanation about something. It's easy for us to judge, yes. But if you're an eyewitness to something, it's common sense that you don't need to reveal yourself to the public as for safety reasons.
No, and here's the thing.
You don't have to explain it. You don't owe me no explanation. I don't want anybody going out here risking their damn life to tell me something, whether I was a YouTuber or not. You go to the law enforcement and you tell them what you know.
And because the feds are involved in this, you can reach out to them. There's all kinds of ways that you can reach these people.
All right, Gypsy, thanks for joining us.
It's not just.
Yes, Sally, very true. Somebody could have gotten hit by a car.
It's not just you got to call Chatham County and let them know what's up. I mean, you could call the.
I wouldn't talk to them, but guess what? What does that even matter at this point?
No, it doesn't.
The FBI is involved,
No.
and they're not even taking heed to anything that the FBI and GBI is saying to them.
That's why I'm saying, like, if you didn't feel comfortable contacting the county, you could go straight to the FBI. Period. They're involved. They've handed them supposedly.
Yeah, but what we're saying is this: the flip side of that is, even though you go to the FBI, GBI,
it doesn't even matter at this point.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Is that chief is still the one orchestrating everything. So it wouldn't matter if you had viable information or not. If the chief still wants to let the girl walk around, doesn't matter if you said, yeah, I saw her put the baby in the dumpster. Hey, I saw her put a tote in there. Yeah, that's the car I saw sitting out there. And for somebody's information, this is a part of the live where I want everybody's ears to be wide awake at 2 hours and 24 minutes into this live. Somebody did see her car at the dumpster. Now, let's see what smart remarks somebody's going to make now about video surveillance and no Wi-Fi working.
That doesn't even matter. Do you people think that there's only one house with the camera? Like, people have all different kinds of doorbell cams. They have tiny little cameras on their homes. You don't know who.
I already said, did it occur to you that that's not the dumpster she put them in, the green ones? There's a blue dumpster that sits at the store that's adjacent to the driveway into the mobile park. That is also the same color dumpster that was shown on the news, and they made sure not to show the entire picture behind the dumpster as to identify the location of the dumpster. I believe the news did that deliberately to not identify where they took the picture. But I don't know anything because I'm just stupid at 51.
Well, Johanna, he doesn't have to listen to the FBI because they're not the lead. Now, if they were the lead and he would have gave it to them as being the lead, then that's different. But he's never done that.
Oh my God. The camera wasn't working on the trailer. It wasn't working on the trailer. Well, didn't it occur to you that somebody saw Leilani sitting at the damn dumpster in her car? They identified the car that the bitch was sitting in.
Damn. Grow up.
It's just, there is just so much that doesn't add up. There is so much supposedly that they've handed him. He's the one that called them in. He called them in. They didn't come looking for, him and seeing what cases they can solve. That this man is not even taking into consideration how many of those men and women have children and have wives and are missing birthdays and sporting events or seeing their parents. At some point, I mean, this shit's getting a little too excessive. He's thinking of himself.
So whoever's listening to this live, go argue about who told me that her car was sitting there. Since the camera wasn't working, nobody told you that it was just a camera that caught her there. I told you, you don't know who was up watching, walking around.
And all these people, they haven't given her car back. That says a lot.
Stop believing the hype. You all got to stop believing gossip. You don't know what somebody saw that morning.
No, they're not going to come out
that night. They don't have to tell you it was surveillance. They don't have to tell you it was doorbell cameras. They don't have to tell you they pinged a car. You don't even know what car she drove. She could have been in a car that had GPS tracking, all that. You don't know. She could have had her phone on. Could have used that boyfriend's phone. They asked him, hey, we got information from your phone that you was over here in the trailer park. And he said, no, I ain't been in no trailer park. I was asleep. See, you don't know. You don't know who saw her car parked. Because once, you don't even know which dumpster she put him in. So to argue about Wi-Fi not working on a camera, who said she put them in those green dumpsters? Nobody.
Yeah, and who said that they were lying on one
Because there's
camera?
another dumpster at the front of the property that goes into a little gate, wooden gate, and chain link fence. She could have dumped the baby there. Since you know so much. Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, Adam, the point is, sweetheart, nobody is going to listen that you say that you went in the middle of the night to dump something in that dumpster when, one, your child is missing and you have trash cans at your own house.
Jam.
And then they're going to ask you, well, what is it that you put in the dumpster? Well, we know she wasn't going to answer any questions anyway because she hasn't.
Well, Jam says a cadaver dog would have hit on that car if he was in there with her. What makes you think it hasn't? Where is her?
Right, because nobody's told you anything about where the dog hit,
no.
Who saw her at the dumpster, what camera saw her at the dumpster, GPS on the phone, GPS on a car. See, you don't know because they haven't told you anything.
And then you got Billy Goat and Lailani saying, well, we don't know what surveillance because we haven't seen it broad. Do you think they're going to show you anything?
Who's going to tell? Yeah. I'm going to tell a suspect in the investigation what I have on them.
This shit makes no sense. Everybody, she sold the motorhome. She sold the motorhome. No,
yeah.
They took
If you believe she sold, that camper, I'm telling you, you got to be mighty green. Bring your background down, honey.
Oh, it's probably my TV. Let me turn it down. This is becoming excessive.
Yes, Gigi. They would not have gathered people from all over the United States if they didn't have evidence against this girl. For what? Chief Hadley reached out to these people for a reason. They're still on the case, so that should tell you something. If they didn't think they had anything on her, they would have left a long time ago to say, well, we can't find anything. We don't got anything.
Well, and Adam's saying that they would need solid proof to convict. They got solid proof. They've told you.
Well, since this ain't CSI, you won't have any problem about further commenting.
Bye, boo.
Because I don't know who you think I am. I'm Queen. And I didn't fall on Earth yesterday.
These people would not be digging and risking their own
Stop
health.
saying it. Just stop saying it, please. I'm not trying to be rude. Just don't say it no more. These people like to argue. I think it's self-evident what is going on in Georgia. The man told you everything he wanted to tell you at the beginning of the story about who he went and got to help.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are involved from around the United States. The fact they're still investigating. The fact the people are still there, the agents. The fact they're still in the landfill. So you're entitled to your opinion about what you think happened to Quentin. Who you think's responsible. But I'm not about to argue with nobody about what is self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's just I think it's well above 250,000. I think they're at like that 750,000, maybe $1 million mark. We're talking a month.
Exactly, Brittany. So if you see, that's why I tell you I don't argue with a fool. Because nobody's going to waste their time investigating if they don't see nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
They would have been gone.
Now, I personally think it's coming. I think it's going to come.
Well, Kim, we've got to pray that it doesn't turn into a Casey Anthony case. Because one, we've got to pray that this Chief Hadley turns over a new leaf and bring forth at least a charge of filing a false report, because that's where he messed up by saying she's a suspect, but then you don't arrest her. And we know that the child didn't put itself in the dumpster and into the landfill. So therefore, you've already shown cause that she lied. So arrest her on filing a false report. It has happened because it happened in the case with Megan Boswell. She lied. Because I can't be looking at your baby wrapped up in plastic, a blanket, in a playhouse, in a shed, knowing the baby didn't put herself in there. Every lead you sent us on was a lie. So that's my first charge.
Not only that, but she lied to them. She had 4 different scenarios within hours.
That was her first charge. So this case is no different. It's the same bullshit. Arrest her for filing a false report of a missing child.
Man, you say your kid was abducted, they disappeared, and then whatever other 2 things she said, because she named 4 of them.
First, the father took the baby.
Yep.
Then the baby wandered off. Then she thought somebody lonely needed a kid. Then there was implications of the babysitter. Then there was implications of Danny in subtle Facebook posts and sending the brother to YouTuber's channel. He gave the baby a bath, so then they're implying in a subtle way that he's the last one to see the children. He saw the kid in the playpen. That's a subtle way of saying he last saw the children.
It's all just nothing but lies that have came out of their mouth. The 2 of them. Because that's all we've heard from so far. Or heard about is those.
Yeah, you have not heard anything from law enforcement pertaining to this investigation. What they have, what they saw, surveillance, eyewitnesses, pings. They haven't told you anything. Everything you heard is gossip from Billie Joe Howe. Nobody else.
Those people haven't even went in for questioning. I mean, they've never even pled for the little boy. If you thought somebody came in and abducted your child, you're going to be just flipped out, begging and pleading on every network you could get on. These people, like, I don't even think they cried real tears at any time. None of it makes
Brittany,
sense.
I won't doubt that he has knowledge of what happened to the child.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There's just no way he would not know.
He knows. That's why he left.
Even if it's a matter of him saying he saw the child, that's suspect because I don't believe the child was even alive at 6 a.m. 5:29 a.m.
It was already gone.
The child was already dumped. So he couldn't have seen the child. So that makes him complicit in the lie as well. So he knows something.
It's a mess, man. The whole thing is a...
Yes, he got out fast. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to Debbie Collier and Billie Joe Howe being a possible informant. Is this the reason why Chief Hadley has not arrested her and her daughter? He prefers a informant over a murder of a child. Hit the link because I will be checking out here shortly. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BeganG 129 Cash App. Thank you for the stickers and chats. Amen. Well, every time you get up here and talk, you say the same thing. And it's going to be cut soon. And we still up here talking about this baby.
Poor little guy. I feel so bad for him.
Well, I brought commentary breezes that the child died between about 11 and 2. Is that correct? About 11 and 1, 11 and 2?
Yep. We haven't heard anything about the brother that lives there. I don't care if he's a minor or not.
Yeah, they don't have anything to do with anything.
The other brother or son or sister.
You really don't know. You don't really know who stayed in the house, how many people came and went out of the house. You don't know anything. Nobody's talking. I do find it interesting that her family has not spoken. Does Billie Joe have any brothers, sisters?
Probably not.
Any close friends? None of those people have talked. Just one guy arguing with some YouTubers on Tybee Island, which don't count. Other than that, nothing.
And it's crazy because None of these other missing people, children, I mean, all these other missing missing children, these parents, none of them had people come out.
Jan, now come on now. You can't be this blind. Nobody took that baby out of there. Nobody took the baby out of the playpen. You want me to believe somebody broke into their house and they had a security system and they stole 20-month-old versus an infant. Most people want babies. They don't want toddlers. Make it make sense. How do I know which room you're in to take your child out of there?
Well, and I think Pat has a good point too.
And if you follow my content, you will know I brought you information from the same source I'm speaking of from now, that the door was open between 2 and 5 a.m. So how did the person go in or out? Who opened the door from the inside? Your security system will show if the door was open from the inside or the outside.
Well, we don't care what the horse posted about Billie's sister because that bitch don't count.
I don't know.
The horse can post whatever she wants. Her and
the child
all
is
her
believed
barnyard friends
to have been dead between late night and the a.m. So that means nobody took the child anywhere in the morning. He was already dumped by 6 o'clock. 5:29. That's the reason for the text to McCarter that we will not be bringing the children. You all don't listen. Somebody's not following the story. What do you
think? they need to start because the baby was not buried by Danny. Okay. They have confirmation that this.
What are the odds? No, let's just go here because you can Google it and Google won't respond. What are the odds that on the day that you report your child missing and you act like you didn't want to report her missing, you just so happen to not send your kids to the babysitter, but you've been sending your children to the babysitter even when you didn't have to work, and that's from the babysitter if we were to believe Diana McCarter. I'm just saying, just out of the blue. None of your kids are going to the babysitter, but yet you and this boy work.
Well, Johanna, we don't care if BJ's sister talks to the baby horse because we don't even know if that's her sister. She is a month late to the game. She
calm down in the chat.
Talking. She should have went to the news. Why the hell is she over there talking to the baby horse? The baby horse ain't CNN. They ain't the local news station. If you have something to say, and
Cash Gernon case has nothing to do with this case. That boy knew them and stayed at that house before. That's why he had access to the house. And we do not know if it was a setup because we do believe that the boy is mentally challenged. He has some mental problems. His lawyer said he believes the boy is schizophrenic. He's done this before because there's something wrong with him mentally. I do believe there's something wrong with him. And
I think he was criminally insane.
And that case has nothing to do with this case because that boy's on camera taking the child out, and he also has had dealings with that family.
Yeah, he knew them personally.
That case has nothing to do with this case here in Georgia.
Well, you know what? I hope they're over there talking on the Baby Horses channel because I'm sure there's a lot of people over there dumping her.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Dump.
Let them keep talking to that baby horse, and then when they start hearing that click, click, click sound in their cell phone, they'll know what the hell's going on.
Oh, my God.
You want to talk to Sharon, keep talking to her. When somebody show up at your door, don't go to complaining. Sharon can't do nothing for you when them suits come knocking at your door and want to know why the fuck you talking to that YouTuber in Canada.
Yeah, you never want the suits to
come. I would not be talking to her about nothing. She wouldn't even have my telephone number. Well, since you're hating baby killers, you can remove yourself, or I'll help you out.
Hopefully we have some answers soon.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they find
Because this case is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. It's dragging on when it doesn't need to. Lock her up. You got plenty to lock her up on.
And I wouldn't even. There's no way in the world I would even mess with these people. I do find it interesting. You people sure love bothering people that's involved in this true crime. Strange to me. Very strange.
If I was being accused,
I can see if you're a reporter and even some YouTubers, and you still have to tread lightly and getting in people's inboxes, passing information, gossiping, and saying, "Well, I want to help and I want to talk. I want to pass your story on. I want to help," because in the end, they don't know you and you don't know them. You don't even know. Sometimes it's best to leave these people alone because you don't know who you're talking to.
Mm-mm. Nope. That horse over there, she's turned on a lot of people, so you get what you got coming to you. If you get your ass in trouble.
That's the whole point of what we're saying, is that nobody knows what law enforcement has on any of the people that lived in the house. That's the point. And just because they named her as the primary suspect does not mean that other people are not complicit in the crime, have knowledge thereof, thereafter. And they don't have to tell us somebody else's name or names. They don't have to tell us anything.
We don't even know what they went knocking on all these doors over there in that mobile home park. We don't know what they asked all those residents. We don't know if they had pictures. Did they just ask, "Hey, do you know these people? Have you seen this baby?" Mm-hmm. We don't know anything. Mm. And they're not going to tell us.
Well, I just...
This shit makes me
all I can say is Georgia's just...
It's a hot mess over there.
There's something wrong with both of these jurisdictions. They can't get it right with Debbie Collier. You got a chief that won't arrest a grandmama and a daughter. I never seen anything like it. And I definitely would not vote for him. He couldn't vote. If it's a matter of the mayor votes him in, again, I would say we're going to take a vote to have both of y'all asses out of here.
He's setting a really bad example.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust him to investigate another case. Mm-hmm. That's most definitely.
Nope.
I would not want him involved in any other crime that took place in Chatham County.
And what I really want to know is, how did he end up there? Because I don't think he's from there. He's from Florida.
That's where they were protesting. And what's the police department?
If they go back and protest, I don't think that they're going to waste no time but to start arresting them every chance they get.
Yeah, I would. They need the money, obviously. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They need the money from the court costs and fines. So, shit, arrest them. I don't care what you do with them. Because my thing is, nothing is coming from those people standing out there. And that's what a lot of bobbleheads need to understand. You're not proving anything by standing out there. Only thing you're doing is making enemies with people that you don't know and don't even have to be falling out with, and getting a bad reputation via social media and law enforcement. I would not travel to a person's city or town to do that. But like I said, everybody navigates differently. I have no reason to go to anybody's jurisdiction running up and down, hooping and hollering with signs, because I know that's how a person can get hurt. And I'm not getting ready to forfeit my life for nothing with 2 feet. And I'm not going to use a baby as an excuse to say, well, this is why I'm out here hollering and screaming. It's not.
Linda Lou just said it perfectly. He did this. He came out and he started all this shit. You named her. You said where that baby was. You said where you were looking for him. And yet she's still walking free. And allegedly, sir, you had her leave that home. It's very coincidental.
Who is this Mike Hunt they talking to? I almost don't see him in here.
Oh, I don't know. He's probably a troll. He's probably from the barnyard.
Well, Wendy Source, I'm going to say it for the last time, sweetheart. He don't have to tell you the truth. Because as you see with the mess going on with Debbie Collier, they changed that narrative. So I don't know. I'm not banking on anything coming out of Chatham County at this point.
Johanna, they're not going to
Because I have a source that gives me information pertaining to this investigation, and he's not within reason to listen to the information brought to him by outside sources. So therefore, I'm not banking on anything pertaining to Chief Hadley. I'm just not. The only person of interest, whatever. We're not saying listen, please don't come in my chat arguing. I never said that she wasn't a person of interest. I said she is the prime suspect.
That's what he
A prime suspect does not mean there can't be somebody else involved.
Yeah, he's the one that said it. Nobody else.
Don't come here arguing with me. I know what the chief has said. And she's not a person of interest. Person of interest and prime suspect are not the same.
Yeah, little Deb, that's what he should have said.
Person of interest means I'm looking into you. Dear God, I've never seen anything like it. Damn. Oh my God. You can't make this stuff up. Lord have mercy, Jesus. I see exactly why that we have people on the news. I really do.
Zia, I don't know who you're talking to. I think you need to do your own damn research if you're talking to us.
Yeah, I don't know what you're speaking of. And since you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you're out of this chat, because anything I get from the source and the news. If the news has something that they need to correct, then I'll bring it forward. I don't know what you're speaking of. And I don't need nobody coming here telling me nothing about what I said and didn't say, because all my information I get from the news. You want to argue about if she's a suspect or not, then you go call Chief Hadley. You don't think she's a prime suspect? Call Chief Hadley. You don't think she's a person of interest? Call Chief Hadley. You think she's a person of interest? Call Chief Hadley. You don't think nobody else is involved? Then you call Chief Hadley. But don't you come in this chat trying to tell me about nothing I done said. Because information I get, I bring it from the news source. And if they got it wrong, then it's their job to put a correction. I don't listen to other YouTubers, and I don't listen to other he said, she said, and I don't listen to Facebook posts. So you come in this chat, you better come fucking correct.
Yeah, you never hear Queen talk about anybody else.
I don't even know what the hell she's talking about. Because I don't spread no rumors. I'll say allegedly or what somebody said. That does not mean I said it. And I rarely repeat what somebody else said if I didn't hear them say it themselves. Such as, the Queen ain't told you the motherfucking baby drowned in a fucking bathtub. I never told you the baby drowned in a pool. I never said a baby drowned in a pond. And I never said a baby drowned in a lake. So therefore, those rumors have never come out of my mouth. And I don't believe not one of them. Well, they don't listen. That's everybody's problem. So okay. So now she's a person of interest.
I think people just need to go back for their own common sense and re-listen to all his little press conferences. I think he did 3.
I don't know anything about her being a person of interest.
He said she is the prime suspect. He did not say she is the only suspect. He said she is the prime. Well, I don't give a shit where the sheriff is from. Michigan, Indiana. Last I heard, he came from Florida. I could be wrong. I read it somewhere.
Sick of this reach.
Maybe he was born elsewhere and navigated to Florida and ended up in Georgia. I don't know.
Where's my phone? Why are you all coming in this chat arguing with somebody about some shit that's already been said in news broadcasts? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because the horse sent him. All of a sudden,
you want to argue about personal interest, prime suspect. He done said it 1,000 times. She's a prime suspect. And I don't have to go pull up any articles. Because I done said it 1,000 times verbatim from their own Twitter page and their Facebook accounts. So if you got a problem with what he said, then you should call Chief Hadley. And you tell him he don't know what he's talking about because he's the one repeating the information.
Yeah, tell him to give the case up. Let the FBI take over. It's time. Because he obviously ain't got it right. Not once, not twice. We're a month in. And the only thing he has solved
Sitting here arguing over something that's been said 1,000 times. She was prime suspect 1 week after the boy went missing. October 12th. It's in a 2-part sentence. Baby believed to be dead, mother prime suspect. Not person of interest. End the conversation. I won't hear it again. Yes, exactly. And still repeating it. Amen. No, you want her to be a person of interest because you possibly think she ain't done nothing. Just say, I believe Leilani didn't kill her baby. Instead of coming in the chat arguing with people about something the fucking chief said out of his own mouth.
If Leilani didn't kill her baby, why haven't they given her her car back? She had a dead baby in her car that she disposed of. The bitch has not went and cried and pled for this little boy that she said was abducted.
See, I'd rather you just be honest with yourself because you're not impressing me because I don't really give two shits. I don't care to argue about nothing pertaining to what somebody else said when it's in so many articles what the man that said about this woman and that kid. And if you believe that she didn't kill her kid, then just write that in your message. I think she's innocent.
You're allowed to have your own opinion.
Instead of arguing with, he said this and he didn't say this, just say you believe the woman didn't kill her kid. That's all you have to do. Jesus Christ. Just say, hey, I like the baby killer. You got to make up shit about what the chief said. Damn, stand on your word. You ain't got to lie on somebody else.
Damn, I need a drink.
Well, I'm gonna get one when I come out this live. You can believe that.
I need a strong one.
Oh my God. Thank you, Fairy Dust. Yes, old news. Exactly. I don't even think it means anything at this point due to the fact that she's free. So somebody wants to sit up here and argue back and forth about she's a person of interest. Well, she's free. Does it matter?
She's free.
Free like OJ all day.
She's free like a bird.
Damn.
Over there staying in her motorhome. Chief had her leave.
Yes, Linda. Exactly. Very strange cases, both in the state of Georgia. Both baffling. There's something very sinister in both of these cases.
That tells you that they're legal shit down there.
I ain't gonna get no coffee, honey. I'm gonna have me a real drink when I get off this live. I'm gonna pamper myself. Then I'm gonna lie in my bed and find me a good movie to watch. Please go to my community board for Till Death Do Us Part. It's now playing on Tubi. Very, very good movie about a woman who has a heart condition, and she marries this doctor, but he becomes possessive of her, and you've got to figure out why. And he also has a meddling sister in tow. It's very good. And there's like 3 versions of that movie out. There's one that's got an all black cast, and then there's an older one, and then they have one I think that's from like the 1950s. So it's like 4 versions of that movie. But the one I'm speaking of is now playing on Tubi. Very good. Auntie, I'm about to unbring it because I'm about to get off this live because these folks giving me a headache, and I don't know how time for all this. I'm about to sit up here. I am not about to be sitting up here arguing about no damn hillbillies. Because that's basically what I'm doing, is arguing about something the chief said and arguing about Billie Joe and who she talking to and what she ain't doing. In the end, these people aided this death. That's the bottom line. And the chief,
I don't give a shit what Cher said.
And the chief hasn't arrested them.
That bitch ain't in rehab. Come on. Does she think that's gonna stop her when they do come and knock in to cuff her up? Hell no.
Who's in rehab?
I don't know. Someone says Sheila says Cher says she's in rehab. That horse.
Who?
Sheila. It says Sheila the child.
I said, who is the she?
Who do you think? It's Leilani.
I don't know, because everybody keep coming in this chat making up shit. So I don't know who y'all talking about.
Yeah, Sheila said the horse said Leilani was.
I don't know who y'all talking about.
I don't give a shit where Leilani is. It's all a lie. Everything that comes out of those people's mouth is a lie. She ain't in rehab.
Well, I know she ain't in my pocket, and she ain't under my right boob, so I don't know where the hell she is. I don't know where the hell is. I don't know where she is. Yeah, she's home. Thank you, Fairy Dust.
She's at home.
And don't you find that convenient? Because this is, I believe, Kinsley's thought process, that the chief is the reason she left in the first place. And as soon as they put up the sign or start crying about the city ordinances, poop, 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 she's allegedly back. So that's something to look into as well. Did he ask her to leave that house, asked to get that city ordinance sign put up, and then she could return? Chief Hadley, do you have something to do with her leaving and then coming back because you knew you were going to get that sign put up?
Chief Hadley,
Yeah.
Why did blowjob Billie come running outside today and tell that
Oh my
cop?
God, here you go. Oh, Jesus.
Chief Hadley put that sign up for us.
You got to quit watching that. Fairy Dust says yes.
It's all of
Cat Pat, now listen, talking about her mom is most likely with the chief tonight.
Oh God.
Well, guess what?
Crooked mouth in her face.
Whatever she's doing, I bet she took them teeth out first.
Shit.
She spit them teeth out first, whatever she's doing with the chief. Damn. Girl, don't make me talk about taking no hot bath, cool breeze. I ain't gonna tell you about the incident I had the other day in the bathtub. That tub was too short. Honey, me and that tub was wrestling. You hear me? And my knee was bad. I got some bad knees. I said, damn, I thought this tub was longer than this. I thought, shit, I need a jacuzzi. Got me wrestling, trying to get out that damn bathtub. I said, Lord, they better found her in the tub, just sitting upright, still woke. Turned into a big old prune. Lord, have mercy. Say what, baby? The two were the characters in that movie I'm looking for. It's on Tubi. Just go in the Tubi app. Haley Duff is starring in the movie.
Ooh, I like her.
Yeah. Haley Duff is the lead. Thank you, Mimi. Oh, Rita, please stop. She gonna just storm the time. Oh, Lord. Girl, please stop. Golly, Chief could be walking with his legs gaped out. Chief, what's the matter? Can't tell you. Woo! Look, got his nuts grazed. I'm dead. She's a baby. She's a baby rake.
Stop. I'm going to give myself a migraine from laughing.
Oh my God. She's a baby rake. Billy Joe, please, you're hurting me. You know you like it, Daddy. Daddy, you know you like it. Your teeth hurt, damn it. Pull your teeth out. But I look pretty with my teeth in. Okay, I'm gonna behave. Woo, Jesus, I'm sick. I gotta quit doing this. Oh, Kim, please stop. Oh, tag team with your mom. Oh, nasty. Now that's just nasty. Now you all behave in the chat because now you're talking about incest. Oh my God. What it is, I've been needing to go to the bathroom. Y'all get nasty in that chat. Y'all start talking that crazy stuff. But can you imagine that? Ooh, giddy up, cowboy. Giddy up. Chief Hadley. Woo, she probably puts his uniform on.
Oh, shit.
I bet Billy Joe got a carbon copy of the Chief's uniform in her closet. When she gets lonely, she puts the Chief's suit on, uniform, puts that top hat on. I'm the sheriff in town.
Shit, stop.
I mean business right now. This town ain't big enough for the both of us. Ride 'em, cowboy. Woo, could you imagine that MG thing with him?
Oh, God.
Her mouth's twitching too. What kind of drugs they been taking down there?
All
of them some junkies, ain't they? Just mouth just a twitching and just like little baby lawnmowers. I'm just like, what is in their mouth? One got chewing tobacco. No, bitch, that ain't no chewing tobacco. That's menthol crack. You gotta leave them drugs alone. They're not healthy for you. Please don't get high. Drugs are bad for you, ladies. So is a bad hair dye job.
Yeah, that is a bad hair dye job.
Walmart. L4, please, ladies, get you some new hair color.
Clairol.
You need L'Oreal. And you need to get a hair trim. You don't look good anymore. Oh my God. What happened to Roast the Boss? Oh, Jesus. Oh. You need to go to Great Clips.
Oh, shit.
I think it's $16.95. You gotta tip your hairdresser.
Oh, Jesus. These people are sick.
They're a bunch of sick pigs.
And I think that one bitch needs a new bra. Your titties are big. Well, I need a new brassiere, ladies. We can't keep protesting. We gotta go to Walmart. I gotta get a new bra. I gotta get a new bra. Ooh, can you imagine? Lace,
panties and bra for that one. Oh my God, I'm dead.
Ugh. I don't even want to think about that.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Hey, I gotta take my glasses off. I think I look more attractive if I just take my glasses off.
Shit, she really wouldn't be able to see. She can't even see with them on.
Oh my God. I want to say something so bad, but I don't want people to get angry with me. Because then I'll say, no, Angela, that's just a nasty, nasty joke. Oh my God. This is real. You know, let me be quiet. Oh my God. I'm going to shut up. And you know, them drugs, no matter what you take, they will cause heart problems.
Oh, of course.
I mean, how much pill popping, meth, crack can you take? Snorting what? I mean, what do you think that shit's going to happen? I mean, what do you think's going to happen to you? You just keep doing that stuff.
That shit causes heart issues, brain issues.
Everything.
You know, you never know. You can have an aneurysm, freaking
And you know
stroke.
that meth, if you mess with that meth, that shit messes with your skin. Oh my God.
I don't know.
You can have a pretty skin and you start messing with that stuff. Man, that stuff ages you like 10 years and 3 months. I've seen pictures where they show the before and the after. It's bad. It's really bad. Oh my gosh. And she's a life coach. So she's
None of them are life coaches.
well, if that's the case, Queen's a life coach.
Yep. You be coaching up here all day.
I sure do. Ain't got nary quarterback. Ain't got nary quarterback. Well, it's 3:10. Let's wrap it up. What do you have to say before you check out? Before I check out of here.
Well, when it finally comes out that there's something sinister going on, I'm definitely gonna come up here and I'm gonna say, I told you so.
Well, you entitled to believe what you all want. As I said, this is a 2-part live pertaining to Debbie Collier's son speaking to Court TV. Please check out the said information in the YouTube queue. I also have it posted to my community page with other videos and breaking news pertaining to this story and other breaking news. I don't know what's going to become of the Debbie Collier case because it's just wackier by the moment. And I don't think the son's going to get the results he needs and wants because he's already now stepped on the toes of the sheriff and he feels like his toes have been stepped on. So I don't see how they're going to come to a happy medium. But I do hope they can solve the case thoroughly and get to a resolution of how the lady died. I will go into the Google search to see about an autopsy because I haven't gotten anything notification about an autopsy, but I will post it to the community board and then we can chop up what was said. But if it's undetermined, then there's really nothing I can make of a video about that. As far as allegations of Billie Joe Howe being an informant, that information was given to me tonight before I went live. And I don't know if it's true or not. I just know somebody's talking down there and wanting the information out. And they've talked to somebody and that somebody talked to me. So there you have it. If she is an informant, I would like to know, does it have a bearing on why she has not been arrested in this case alongside her daughter? And if it is true, the allegation, why are you not arresting her for being negligent of this child? I also know that possibly the state will have a hand in this case as far as her having custodial rights. So maybe it would be handled differently with the state than it being a criminal charge. I don't know. So I don't want to try to get in all that because I don't know really what's going on and I don't know what involvement the state has at this point and what they're trying to do to her. But I brought you that information the earlier part of the week that I got information from the same source information that they were meeting to decide what to do about Billie Joe as far as her role in this crime. And then the next thing you know, on that Tuesday, you saw via live streams from other networks that papers were served to her. So that same source that told me that on a Monday, on a Tuesday, boom, you see papers served. What was on the papers? What was on the papers? Why would a chief not arrest the daughter, but name her the prime suspect in this child's death and discarnment? Why hasn't Billie Joe been brought up on charges for gross negligence of the children? In no way I want to believe in my right mind that this chief would hold an informant, allegedly, her role as an informant, over an arrest for the death of a child. Now that would definitely be gross and inhumane, and a slap in the face to the baby and the other two children, because she did have custodial rights. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chatty. Forgot what I was going to say. She had custody of the children, and that is what it is. There's no sugarcoating. There's no, dancing around it, talking in circles around it. She had custody. So she bears responsibility for those children, whether she was home or not, whether she knew the child was going to be murdered, whether she knew it was an accident, however it went. Because as I said, that's a poor excuse to use in a crime of a child discarded in a dumpster. It was an accident. Doesn't matter. He didn't walk himself in the dumpster. And if you can't prove how he died, you can't come to somebody and say, oh, well, it was an accident. I was scared, so I threw him in the dumpster. Because there's no reason to throw any human in a dumpster because they had an accident. That's not the appropriate way of dealing with a human being. So one can say you did kill your baby deliberately. When did the mother find out? Billie Joe. I believe the daughter's probably told her what happened with the child. And she's holding that secret. That's why she flipped back and started supporting her. Because in the beginning, she and the stepfather talked negatively about her via the news. So what was the change? Billie Joe knows something. That Danny Youngkin, I believe, knows something. I don't believe he saw the child in the playpen. I do believe possibly he and this girl orchestrated this crime together. He either lied in wait while she went and dumped the baby. First killed the baby deliberately, willful intent. Dumped the baby in a dumpster. And then the dumpster went to the landfill. Law enforcement got wind of the dumpster, her being at the dumpster. However, and that is when they decided to galley up all their investigators and brought forth information a week later that she was the primary suspect and that the baby is dead. And one can use deduction that they know something to come to that conclusion. That 1, she is involved. 2, the baby is dead. 3, they're in the landfill still now, weeks later. They're not there by mistake. They're not there on a hunch. They're not there because of a social media post. They're not there because of gossip. Town gossip, social media gossip, Billie Joe Howe gossip. Information they gathered led them to that dumpsters, and the landfill. And my understanding, Cadaver Dog was also involved in bringing forth information pertaining to the child being in the landfill. You believe what you want to believe. But I do not believe there are no mistakes pertaining to this baby. I do not believe in no coincidences pertaining to this baby. And if you talk to any detective, he will tell you there are no coincidences in true crime or murder investigation. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Mind the children. Exactly. So she would not get evicted. And I also believe those were the motives. The eviction notice, the notice to pay child support starting November 1st, 2022. And motive number 3. If I get this child gone, Billie Joe will not evict me and will not be concerned about child support because we will be too immersed in the case of my missing baby. Who's going to put me out knowing my child is missing? Checkmate. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Have a safe weekend.